Chapter 3881. Zhou Xiaoping left his parents' house in a daze. He didn't understand how his good life had become so unrecognizable. He had a loving wife, his children, and a complete family. It was only because a daughter was a daughter and not a grandson. If it was a grandson, this wouldn't have happened to this family. Such a sharp conflict. Zhou Xiaoping didn't resent the fact that it was a daughter and not a son because he knew that it was all because of him. It was a matter of probability, and his daughter was innocent. The gender wasn't something she could choose. It was just that he was really crying. He was too tired. Zhou Xiaoping felt like there was a mountain pressing down on him, making him unable to move and unable to struggle. The pressure was huge. Back home, Zhou Xiaoping took off his clothes and shoes, hugged his wife, and sobbed. Ning Shu was expressionless. Zhou Xiaoping was a person who knelt down at the slightest thing and cried while hugging others. He looked so fragile that it was easy to arouse sympathy in people's hearts. An indomitable man was now so fragile. Ordinary women's hearts were full of maternal instinct. If there was another woman who loved him, wouldn't her heart ache to death? The client was in so much pain in this family. After persevering for so many years, she still wanted to have another child with him. It was nothing more than that her heart softened in front of this man. Ning Shu said, "Go wash your face. You've made me dirty from crying. I still have to wash. Now that the child has finally fallen asleep and I can take a nap, you're tormenting me again." Sorry, there was no warmth, only ruthless reality. Zhou Xiaoping wiped the tears on his face and let go of Ning Shu. He said, "I'll go get some water for you to wash up." "No need, don't bother. If you wake up the child, you'll have to coax her." Ning Shu directly lay down and began to sleep. Leaving Zhou Xiaoping alone in the darkness, lonely and confused by his side, he was really a man who made people's hearts ache. Ning Shu always felt that the way Zhou Xiaoping treated his wife was like how he treated his mother. Whenever she had nothing to do, she would cry. Her crying made people's hearts ache, and it stimulated a woman's maternal instincts. No matter what, women actually liked this kind of stuff. Of course, people like Ning Shu, who didn't have empathy and sympathy, couldn't give Zhou Xiaoping the attitude he wanted. The days passed in such a lukewarm manner, like a pool of stagnant water, without the slightest wrinkle or ripple. Zhou Xiaoping's heart was oppressed. However, Zhou Xiaoping was unwilling to break the peace before him. He would rather maintain this lifeless peace. If he wanted to break this peace, he would have to face a storm. Zhou Xiaoping chose to refuse. Zhao Qiaohong occasionally came to the door with something. When Ning Shu saw that it was her outside, he didn't open the door and let her knock on the door. When neighbors passed by, Zhao Qiaohong would say that every time she came to see her daughter-in-law, he didn't even open the door for her. He despised her for being old, crying, and dirty. At this time, Ning Shu would open the door and poke his head out and say, "Grandma, you came to the door with something because you want to steal the child. You want to throw my child away. Last time, you were lucky to find her. If there's a next time, I don't know if you can find her again. Grandma, please do a good deed and give this child a place to stay. We don't want you to take care of the child, and we don't want you to pay for the child. Don't throw her away." In front of many people, Ning Shu begged Zhao Qiaohong with a pitiful expression. When others looked at Zhao Qiaohong, their eyes were particularly subtle. Naturally, they also knew why her daughter-in-law didn't dare to let her into the house. Zhao Qiaohong was very angry, but she didn't dare to say anything bad about her daughter-in-law in front of others. Even if she said it, others wouldn't believe it. They all thought that her daughter-in-law had a reason to do so. She wanted to make use of public opinion, and Ning Shu also made use of public opinion. After sending off Zhao Qiaohong, Ning Shu received a call from Zhou Xiaoping, who said that he would come back late in the evening. The company's anniversary celebration, everyone in the company had to go. He asked Ning Shu not to wait. Ning Shu raised his eyebrows and curled the corners of his mouth. After waiting for so long, the big show was finally about to start. Zhou Xiaoping, who was depressed, drank a little too much and had sex with the company's junior staff. And just like that, the junior staff got pregnant, and there were things after that. Ning Shu replied with an "oh." His attitude was cold, which made Zhou Xiaoping, who called back to report the itinerary, very upset. At the banquet, he drank a little too much. Ning Shu carried the child on his back, took the marriage certificate and ID card, and was ready to go. He checked the nearest hotel around the restaurant where Zhou Xiaoping's company dinner party was. When the two people entered the hotel, he could start the operation. Zhou Xiaoping was drunk. The banquet was over, and the others left in twos and threes. Zhou Xiaoping could stand in front of him. After sending off the leader, there was no one around him. The junior staff asked Zhou Xiaoping, "Vice President Zhou, I'll call a car for you." Zhou Xiaoping didn't have an impression of this junior staff. He rubbed his head and nodded, but Zhou Xiaoping thought that it was not good for him to go back like this. His stomach was churning, and he was about to vomit at any time. He would have to trouble Yin Ting when he went back, so he said to the junior staff, "No, just find me the nearest hotel. Here's my ID card. Help me register later. Sorry to trouble you." The junior staff took the ID card and nodded. Seeing that he was drunk and couldn't walk, he wanted to help him, but Zhou Xiaoping avoided him. Ning Shu's spiritual force covered the surroundings and found that Zhou Xiaoping and the girl were heading in the direction of the hotel. Ning Shu followed and watched the two check in at the counter and enter the elevator. After a while, Ning Shu walked to the counter, took out his ID card, marriage and household register and put them on the counter, and said to the counter staff, "The man just now is my husband. I want to know which room they are in." Counter staff. With spiritual force, Ning Shu naturally knows which floor they are on, but he still has to ask. After learning the room number, Ning Shu put away the ID card, went out of the hotel, and took out his mobile phone to call the police. "I report that there are prostitutes in Huaxin Hotel, and there are a lot of them. The room number is 4021. Ning Shu said the address and the room number. In order to be able to appear quickly, Ning Shu also exaggerated the number and gathered a crowd. Then the next step is to wait for the police to come to the door. Ning Shu is observing the situation in the room at all times. Originally, there was nothing charming between the two. Zhou Xiaoping vomited as soon as he entered the room, and the junior staff poured tea for him. In the end, he is a junior staff. In the face of the company's leaders, he always has the intention of pleasing them, but he has never thought of using his body. It's just that the atmosphere in the hotel is a bit ambiguous, coupled with the fact that a man and a woman are alone, the temperature is gradually rising, and some desires are like seeds sprouting in the night, unstoppable. To view the new chapter of Zue, please go to mobile phone address. Chapter 3882. Ning Shu waited in the hotel's dimension. He stood in an inconspicuous corner and stared at the hotel's door. Soon, the police came over. They were quite fast. Probably because Ning Shu said there were many people, there were several police officers. Ning Shu, she didn't make a false police report. After all, there was indeed a man and a woman having sex in the room. When the police came to do something, the hotel naturally didn't dare to stop them. They quickly brought them to the room. They swiped the door card and the door opened with a beep. The light in the room was dim. Only the sound of a man and a woman panting could be heard. Someone came in, but the person on the bed didn't notice at all. Zhou Xiaoping was drunk, so his reaction was slower than usual. The staff member was very nervous. She was probably in a dilemma. Should she obey or not? When the police and the hotel staff entered the room, they saw two naked bodies entangled together. It was very eye-catching. Although there was only a man and a woman, it was indeed as reported. They were selling sex and whoring. "Police, get up." The police couldn't watch anymore. They interrupted the two people. The staff member was so scared that she pushed Zhou Xiaoping away and pulled the quilt to cover her body. Zhou Xiaoping, who was pushed away, reacted slowly. He looked at the staff member in confusion. When the light was turned on, he felt that it was dazzling. He covered his eyes with his hand. She was completely naked, showing off her body in front of the police without any precaution. Smelling the alcohol in the room and seeing Zhou Xiaoping like this, the police were really speechless. "Police, put on your clothes." Zhou Xiaoping woke up with a start. He snatched the quilt from the staff member to cover his body. His brain was in a mess. The alcohol made his brain unable to think. Why did the police suddenly appear in front of him? What was going on? What, whoring? How could he be whoring? Zhou Xiaoping broke out in a cold sweat. His whole body was numb. He put on his clothes and was taken away by the police. After such a thing happened, they naturally had to go to the police station. If there were no accidents, they would definitely leave a criminal record. Oh my God, how can I live with such a criminal record? Beside his ears was the sound of the little employee crying. Obviously, she was frightened and helpless, not knowing what to do. The employee felt bitter in her heart. She was almost caught by the unspoken rules in the workplace. Now, she was caught by the police and accused of prostitution. At the thought of this, the clerk cried even harder. He was embarrassed and scared. Outside the hotel, Ning Shu saw the embarrassed employee and Zhou Xiaoping being stuffed into the car. He wondered if the employee would be able to get pregnant this time. The police arrived very quickly. It seemed that the two of them had not even gotten to the point yet. In that case, Zhao Qiaohong's precious grandson might not come back. Zhou Xiaoping and the employee were taken to the police station. Ning Shu also followed. But he did not enter the police station. He wanted to see the outcome. But the child on his back was crying. Ning Shu found a small flower bed and sat down. He took off his clothes and started feeding the child. As a mother, when the child was hungry, she could take off her clothes anytime and anywhere to feed the child. Sigh, luckily it was dark and there were fewer people. Heartbroken. I want to leave this world as soon as possible. In the police station, Zhou Xiaoping was holding a teacup. It was filled with strong tea. He said it was for sobering up. It was summer and Zhou Xiaoping's body was cold. During this period of time, he had an unbreakable bond with the police station. First, it was his mother. Now it was like this. Whoring. Why was his brain so muddled? Was it really because of drinking? How could he afford to have a wife and child at home? The policeman sat opposite the two of them. He held a notebook and a pen and asked, "Since you are sober, let's start. Do the two of you know each other? What is your relationship?" The employee was crying. She kept wiping her tears and couldn't say anything. Zhou Xiaoping calmed himself down and said, "I know each other. We are from the same company." "But police comrade, I am not a whore and she is not a prostitute. Then are the two of you a couple?" The policeman asked. He was experienced and could tell that the two of them were not a couple. Whoring was illegal. But if the two of them were a couple, he couldn't do anything about it. Zhou Xiaoping was conflicted. If he admitted that he was a prostitute, then he would have a criminal record. Moreover, he didn't have a prostitute. However, if he admitted that he was a couple with the clerk, then he would be a married man. That would be an extramarital affair. Ning Shu was outside the police station. This was the effect he wanted. If he didn't want to be a prostitute, then he would have to say that they were a couple. If they were lovers, then it would be an extramarital affair. What was more authoritative than the policeman's testimony? When the time came to fight for the child's custody, the chances of winning would be higher. Although there was Zhao Qiaohong, it wasn't safe. If he wanted to have a 90% chance of winning, plus Zhou Xiaoping's extramarital affair, the chances of winning would be even higher. The employee felt even more bitter. She couldn't stay in this company anymore. It was too embarrassing. She would resign when she went back. She was also muddle-headed. How could she be like that at that time? The policeman was a little impatient. He asked, "What is your relationship? Do you know each other? Tell me the whole story. If it was a prostitute, then explain it clearly. If it was a relationship between lovers, then he couldn't do anything about it." It was the middle of the night and he wanted to sleep. Zhou Xiaoping didn't answer. Instead, he asked, "I want to know how you found us?" Why would the police stare at them for no reason? And they just happened to find their room. Even if they had 3 heads and 6 arms, they wouldn't be able to find out what they were doing. Their matter wasn't a big deal. The police weren't that free. The policeman said, "You are looking down on us. Of course, we have informants. If someone reported us, we would naturally investigate." "Someone reported us?" Zhou Xiaoping asked excitedly. "Report? Who reported me? Could it be someone from the company? Or did someone set up a trap for him?" Zhou Xiaoping's head was jumping. Could it be someone from the company that he didn't get along with? He glanced at the crying employee beside him. Could it be that she was also part of the police or the hotel? The people in the hotel were stupid. What good would this do for the hotel? Without any privacy, who would dare to stay in the hotel? Having the police around would also be bad for the business. He couldn't figure it out. Now Zhou Xiaoping suspected everyone, but he didn't expect that it would be his wife who reported him. What? After questioning the informant, you want to take revenge on him? We won't reveal the informant's information. Otherwise, who would dare to report crimes in the future? The police wouldn't reveal the informant's information. They would know the informant's information once they checked. After all, it was a real name report. To view the new chapter of Zue, please go to mobile address. Chapter 3883. Zhou Xiaoping didn't know who he had offended, but he lost his footing. Zhou Xiaoping was in a dilemma. He had to choose the lesser of two evils. If he was accused of being a prostitute, he might as well say that he had an affair with a woman. The latter would be accused of being a Casanova, but it sounded better than the former. He had a wife at home, but he still went to prostitute. This was too shameful. Zhou Xiaoping opened his mouth and said with difficulty, "I am her lover." The clerk next to him turned to look at Zhou Xiaoping in astonishment. Lovers? When did they have a lover's relationship? The staff was so shocked that she burped and forgot to cry. Zhou Xiaoping gave the staff a look. If she admitted to being a prostitute, her reputation would be bad. If she said that she had an affair with him, even if she was a married man, she could say that it was a moment of infatuation. Everyone made mistakes, and there was still a chance to make up for it. At least it sounded better than being a prostitute. If she was smart enough, she should know what to choose. The staff was stunned for a moment and immediately nodded, "I am his lover." How did she suddenly become a mistress with a married man? She did not even have the chance to sleep with him, and in the end, she came to the police station. The staff was scared out of her wits. She just wanted to leave the police station as soon as possible. The police officer looked at her coldly. "Are you sure you are his lover?" Zhou Xiaoping nodded, "Yes." The staff hesitated for a moment. "Yes." "All right then, sign this and go back." The police officer yawned. It was the middle of the night, and they were tormenting each other. Lover. In order to avoid being accused of being a prostitute, the other party would definitely insist that they were lovers. This was expected. Zhou Xiaoping and the staff signed the papers, and the two of them left the police station one after another. Zhou Xiaoping stopped and turned to the staff. "Are you resigning or should I?" The employee was in a bad mood. She knew that in this situation, she would definitely resign. She was an insignificant employee, and Zhou Xiaoping was a supervisor in the company. But in her heart, she was not reconciled at all. She said, "Vice President Zhou, you are burning the bridge after crossing the river. Before you said that we were lovers. Now you want me to resign. Finding a job is not something that can be done in a short time. Besides, you did that to me in the hotel." No matter how she looked at it, she was the one who was at a disadvantage. Zhou Xiaoping's cold attitude made her feel especially uncomfortable. Zhou Xiaoping didn't know what was wrong with him. How could he do such a thing when he was in a daze? Under the dim light, a woman's body was covered with a layer of hazy soft light. She looked especially beautiful and heartwarming. Somehow, he reached out his hand. Perhaps it was because he hadn't been with his wife for a long time that such an impulsive thing happened. Zhou Xiaoping rubbed his forehead and asked impatiently, "What do you want?" The employee said unhappily, "What do you mean, what do I want? It's as if I want to extort you." Zhou Xiaoping took out his wallet and gave her all the cash inside. "This money is enough for you to resign and find a new job. It will last you for a while." The employee looked at the stack of money. It looked quite thick. It was definitely more than her month's salary. She was just a small employee in the office. She was just a small employee. She just had to type documents, pour tea, and do some chores. The work wasn't very tiring. She didn't need to work hard. Although it was easy, the salary wasn't very high. Seeing nearly 2 months' worth of salary in one night, a seed suddenly sprouted in the employee's heart with a pop sound, taking root and sprouting. Although it wasn't obvious now, it would grow into a towering tree one day. She would never be able to pull it out from her heart. The employee felt that she couldn't accept this money. But how many people in the world could resist the temptation and corruption of money? The employee hesitated whether to accept it or not. If she accepted it, wouldn't it mean that she had really sold herself? Zhou Xiaoping stuffed the money into her hands. This is a little compensation for your resignation. From now on, we won't have anything to do with each other. The employee looked at the money in her hands and thought, I don't want to have anything to do with you. I'll find a new job. If I resign, I'll resign. After this incident, the employee felt that she couldn't be alone with men in the future. Men were all pigs. They couldn't just lay their hands on the woman they liked. She put the money into her bag and zipped it up. Don't worry, I'll resign tomorrow. If her colleagues found out about this one day, she wouldn't be able to face them. She was still young. She didn't want to get married. She might as well leave the company early. Zhou Xiaoping heaved a sigh of relief. We're not allowed to contact each other in the future. The employee snorted. She hailed a car and left. Zhou Xiaoping wiped her face dispiritedly and also hailed a car to go home. Before that, Ning Shu got the result she wanted and went home early. When Zhou Xiaoping came back, Ning Shu was holding the child and coaxing her. She went out at night and the child had a fever. Ning Shu had to take care of the child without sleeping. The child was a little weak now. But she had to go out in that situation. Zhou Xiaoping sorted out her emotions and said to Ning Shu, I'm back. What's wrong with the child? She has a low fever. Fortunately, she looks fine. Ning Shu said as usual, as if she didn't know what had happened. Zhou Xiaoping thought about how the child was sick and what had happened to her outside. She felt even more guilty and quickly said, Let me hold her. You sleep for a while. Ning Shu rejected him coldly. No need. You reek of alcohol. Don't let the child get sick. Wash up and go to bed early. Zhou Xiaoping sighed. She took a shower and brushed her teeth. She dawdled for a long time before coming out of the bathroom. Her skin was all wrinkled from washing. I wasn't supposed to come back tonight. But I remembered that you were at home, so I checked out of the hotel, Zhou Xiaoping said. Ning Shu made an "oh" sound and didn't have any other reaction. Seeing that his wife was so cold, Zhou Xiaoping finally knew why he was so impulsive and had such improper thoughts about a small employee. As the saying goes, 3 years in the army is like a pig. His wife had always refused to be intimate with him. He was so impulsive because he had physiological needs. As long as he waited for that small employee to resign tomorrow, this matter would be over. He definitely had to hide this matter from his wife. There was no benefit in telling her. It would only make the relationship between him and his wife even colder. That kind of thing happened at the same time as the company, and he was reported to the police station. His wife would definitely be furious with such a shameful thing. The exhausted Zhou Xiaoping closed his eyes and slept. But his sleep was not peaceful. To watch the new chapter of Zue, please go to mobile address. Chapter 3884. Ning Shu held the child and looked at Zhou Xiaoping, who was sweating in his sleep. He didn't know what nightmare he had, but his eyebrows were tightly knitted, and his muscles were very tense and tight. Was Zhou Xiaoping a person who committed all kinds of evil? Obviously not. It was also because of this that the client didn't divorce him. Sometimes she said that she wanted to divorce him, but it was all for a moment of pleasure. Hurting oneself also hurt the client. After waking up, Zhou Xiaoping didn't feel relaxed. Instead, he was more tired. When he got up, he didn't even have the strength to lift his hands and feet. His heart was tired, and his body was even more tired. But he still packed up early to go to work. The most important thing was to see that little employee resign and leave the company. After buying breakfast and putting it on the table, Zhou Xiaoping said that he was going to work and left. Ning Shu took the child's temperature. The child's temperature had gone down. In the future, he couldn't take the child out in the middle of the night. The child's immune system was weak now. Ning Shu, alas, why am I so skilled? Zhou Xiaoping arrived at the company early and found that the person who came earlier was the little employee. Zhou Xiaoping found an excuse to call her to the office and asked her when she would leave. The little employee, Yao Lin, said, Sorry, I don't think I can leave this company. Zhou Xiaoping suddenly rubbed his temples. He felt as if his brain was about to explode. He asked in a low voice with anger, "Why? You promised me last night. Do you think that with our current relationship, we seem to meet every day?" Yao Lin whispered, "It's nothing. No one knows about this. I thought about it carefully yesterday. It wasn't easy for me to get familiar with this company. If I change to another company, I need a period of adjustment." When she was at the police station, she was frightened. Her first reaction was to resign and leave the company. But when she went home, she thought about it carefully and realized that it was not a big deal. Although it might be discovered, there was a boss in the company who took care of her. It could be said that she had something in her hands. She had to take care of herself. Going to a new company wouldn't be like this, so Yao Lin felt that staying in the company had more advantages than disadvantages. She counted the stack of money that Zhou Xiaoping had given her last night. There was a total of 5,000 yuan. Zhou Xiaoping stared fixedly at Yao Lin. His eyes were dark and gloomy, like dark clouds hanging low, bringing with it an oppressive feeling that a storm was coming. Yao Lin was a little frightened. "Why are you looking at me like that? I just want to be in a company I'm familiar with. I don't have any intention of extorting you. Besides, I'm also a person who cares about her reputation." Zhou Xiaoping waved his hand and told Yao Lin to get out. His mind was in a mess. It was the aftereffect of drinking last night. If Yao Lin didn't leave the company, this matter would be exposed at any time. Zhou Xiaoping never thought that his life would be smooth sailing. He relied on a prestigious university, entered a big company, and struggled until now. In the end, when he was in his 30s, he encountered such a situation. If Yao Lin didn't resign and leave the company, would he? The price he had to pay for leaving was too great. He had fought so hard to get to where he was now. Zhou Xiaoping was really unwilling to start over in another place. He was in a dilemma and couldn't choose. But once he compromised with Yao Lin, whether it was giving money or giving care at work, Yao Lin would grab hold of his shortcomings. It was also a very painful thing. When facing Yao Lin, as long as he showed a strong attitude, he wouldn't be afraid of this matter being exposed. However, the other party was just a small employee. The price he had to pay was very small. As for himself, could he bear such a price? Zhou Xiaoping was in too much pain. He couldn't resign and couldn't be in the same company as Yao Lin. He was on tenterhooks. His days were simply unbearable. Ning Shu realized that Zhou Xiaoping was like a ghost recently. He had lost a lot of weight and had dark circles under his eyes. In the past, he could be considered a high-spirited man who could barely be considered an elite in society. But now, he was incomparably dispirited. He was exuding a depressing aura from head to toe. Was it that unbearable? Sometimes, he would come home reeking of alcohol. When asked, he would say that a colleague in the company treated him to a meal and he drank 2 more glasses. Zhou Xiaoping asked Ning Shu tentatively, "Ting Ting, if I did something to let you down, would you treat me like this?" "Ning Shu, did you do it?" Zhou Xiaoping denied, "Of course not. Why would I do anything to let you down? Even if I did, it was because I had no choice. I also had my difficulties." Ning Shu, "Oh, then that's it." Zhou Xiaoping, "Will you leave me?" Ning Shu, "It depends on the situation. Of course, there was no such thing as guarding against thieves for 1,000 days. The child would be able to walk and read in the future and be able to move freely. What if Zhao Qiaohong didn't give up and coaxed the child to throw away the child? The client couldn't hang the child on his body like when he was young. There were always times when people were careless. In order to put an end to this situation, he had to completely draw a line with Zhao Qiaohong. Zhou Xiaoping wasn't a bad person. He seemed to be a good person. He didn't have bad habits and could support his family. He was also good-looking and could be considered a good man. But there was no other way. There was no way to separate him from his mother. There was family blood, and Zhou Xiaoping also had the responsibility to raise Zhao Qiaohong. Just as the client was most concerned about the lost child, Zhao Qiaohong was most concerned about her son, Zhou Xiaoping. The contradiction was irreconcilable and there was no way to coexist. Unless the child was a boy. As long as it was a boy, all the troubles and contradictions would no longer exist. It was even impossible for such a thing to happen. It was a bit ridiculous, but for the client, it was very sad. Zhou Xiaoping decided to resign from the company. He came back to discuss with Ning Shu, "I want to change to another company." Ning Shu asked, "Why resign at this time? I don't have a job and I have to take care of the child. I have to spend money on food and clothes at home. You don't have any income during the gap between jobs. What happened that made you willing to resign? Was it still because of the prostitution incident?" Facing Ning Shu's questioning, Zhou Xiaoping couldn't refute. He couldn't say why he had to resign. But working in the company, he felt very painful, especially when he saw the small staff swaying in front of him like a fish in water. Sometimes she would come to him to ask for advice if there was something she couldn't do. Although she said she was asking for advice, he didn't know what was going on. She probably just wanted to be lazy. He had no choice but to arrange it for someone else. Once or twice was fine, but if it happened too many times, others wouldn't be satisfied. There would also be some rumors. Once people got to the bottom of it, the matter between him and Yao Lin might be known. And Yao Lin seemed to be a bit addicted. Being lazy was addictive. She was using this matter to take advantage of his authority in the company. To watch the new chapter of Zue, please go to mobile address. Chapter 3885. Zhou Xiaoping obviously felt that he was being coerced and threatened. Although Yao Lin didn't say it explicitly, her actions indicated this. Moreover, her attitude towards him was becoming more and more casual. She no longer had the basic respect for her superior. This wasn't a good sign. If it wasn't stopped, the situation would definitely get worse. This was a classic case of a stone hitting porcelain. He was a delicate porcelain and couldn't stand the collision. However, the other party was a stubborn stone. It wasn't worth it at all. He had too many things to worry about. His status, reputation, and the job that he had worked so hard to get. It wasn't that Zhou Xiaoping was mocking Yao Lin. Yao Lin was just a small staff member with nothing. She didn't have anything. Her looks were only average. In the face of Ning Shu's inquiry, Zhou Xiaoping couldn't say anything. He couldn't say the reason for his resignation. It was because he couldn't say it that he thought of resigning. Ning Shu looked at Zhou Xiaoping's troubled eyes. He could roughly understand that Zhou Xiaoping's matter was probably related to the small staff member. In the plot, Zhou Xiaoping was also very conflicted. In addition, the small staff member was pregnant. It successfully tilted the balance in Zhou Xiaoping's heart. However, this plot was much earlier than before. It was probably because Ning Shu was too cold to Zhou Xiaoping. He had never had any activities with Zhou Xiaoping as husband and wife. The client had always been intimate with Zhou Xiaoping. Although it wasn't very passionate, it was enough to let Zhou Xiaoping vent his desires. However, Ning Shu was too cold to Zhou Xiaoping. From the time she was pregnant to the time she gave birth to the child, Zhou Xiaoping had been living a life of purity and abstinence. In addition, so many things had happened before. Zhou Xiaoping was too tired and wanted to vent the pressure in her heart. Then it became what it was now. Zhou Xiaoping didn't dare to open his mouth. Once he opened his mouth, the whole thing would be torn open. It was like a flood breaking through a dam. It couldn't be stopped. Zhou Xiaoping was terrified. He could only find an excuse and said, "I want to change my working environment. I'm very depressed in this company. There's no room for improvement." Ning Shu said, "Oh, then wait for a while. Wait for the child to grow up." Zhou Xiaoping couldn't wait for a moment. Wasn't Yao Lin relying on his concerns and didn't dare to speak up? As long as he left the company, Yao Lin would have nothing to rely on. Over time, Yao Lin's appetite. He was afraid that if this went on, he wouldn't be able to satisfy Yao Lin. In any case, Zhou Xiaoping had been in society for a period of time. This kind of thing could be expected, and it could cause the family to break apart. His marriage was already on the verge of collapse. Under the influence of internal and external factors, Zhou Xiaoping's ominous premonition became stronger and stronger. Under this feeling, Zhou Xiaoping was willing to give up everything, hoping to protect one side. At that time, he wouldn't lose his job, his reputation, and his family. Ning Shu thought for a moment and understood Zhou Xiaoping's mentality. Speaking of which, Zhou Xiaoping was also a mature man. He knew that he couldn't have it both ways, so he might as well give up on one side. What he gave up was his own future, not his family. However, if he gave up on his family, he wouldn't get any benefits at work. Everyone in the company knew that he had an extramarital affair with an employee. Office romances had always been disliked by the company. Although some companies didn't explicitly state it, once it was discovered in private, there would always be one person who couldn't work in the company. Moreover, it was an extramarital affair. Even if the two got married in the end, the employee left the company. In addition, she was pregnant and had a child, so she became a full-time housewife. Although Zhou Xiaoping's job was saved, Ning Shu estimated that his reputation in the company wasn't good. Who knew how many people were gossiping behind his back? Some companies would fire people with bad character or tainted employees. This was cutting off a path and gaining a new life. Although everything had to start from scratch, the reputation was still there and he wouldn't be threatened. Ning Shu looked at Zhou Xiaoping with some inexplicable feelings. This man seemed to be bold and capable. Unfortunately, he couldn't be with the client. When he saw Zhou Xiaoping, he would think of Zhou Xiaoping's mother and the child who didn't have much fate. This pain couldn't be healed in a lifetime, and it would be exposed and reminded all the time. Sometimes, a missed opportunity was a missed opportunity. Zhou Xiaoping and the client couldn't be said to be right or wrong. They both had pain, despair, and no choice. However, the relationship between two surnames wasn't a matter between a man and a woman, but a matter between two families. Zhou Xiaoping was a little creeped out by Ning Shu's gaze. He couldn't help but ask, "Why are you looking at me like that? Otherwise, I won't resign." "Ning Shu, it's up to you. If you're not happy with it, you can quit." Zhou Xiaoping breathed a sigh of relief and his heart relaxed a lot. He hugged Ning Shu from behind and hugged Ning Shu and the child. "Thank you for your understanding. I'll go to the company and resign immediately." Ning Shu didn't say anything. Zhou Xiaoping went to resign happily. Those who didn't know would think that he had picked up money. He had never seen someone so happy to resign. When Zhou Xiaoping arrived at the company, he immediately wrote a resignation letter and sent it to his boss. Zhou Xiaoping's boss didn't expect Zhou Xiaoping to resign so suddenly. It was unexpected. Zhou Xiaoping's position wasn't important, but he was still a vice president. He wanted to recruit new people in a short period of time. Zhou Xiaoping did things steadily and basically wouldn't make any mistakes. With such a subordinate, he was also relaxed. Naturally, he wanted Zhou Xiaoping to stay. However, Zhou Xiaoping insisted on resigning. Faced with his boss's persuasion, Zhou Xiaoping also declined. Although he was leaving the company, Zhou Xiaoping wouldn't become enemies with his boss. They might meet again in the future. Becoming enemies everywhere was an idiot's behavior. A mature person wouldn't indulge in a moment of emotion. Zhou Xiaoping came out of his boss's office and met Yao Lin. When Yao Lin saw Zhou Xiaoping, she smiled and greeted him. "Hello, Vice President Zhou." Zhou Xiaoping saw the smile on Yao Lin's face and nodded. When the two passed by each other, Zhou Xiaoping turned to Yao Lin and said, "Oh right, I resigned." Yao Lin's figure paused. She turned her head and looked at Zhou Xiaoping with some astonishment. "You resigned?" Yao Lin never thought that he would resign. After all, Zhou Xiaoping was a management staff. His salary wasn't low. How could he just give up like that? Seeing the astonished and disbelieving expression on her face, Zhou Xiaoping's heart gave birth to joy. Although this was hurting the enemy by 1,000 and losing 800, but seeing Yao Lin's expression, he felt very happy. He couldn't suppress the pleasure. The person she relied on was gone. The good days were in the past. To watch the new chapter of Zue, please go to mobile address. Chapter 3886. During this period of time, Yao Lin relied on him and became a little arrogant. She even spoke more confidently and dared to command others. He didn't know where her confidence came from. Without him, let's see if she still had the courage to do so. This still hadn't happened. If they really had sex, then Yao Lin might even go to heaven. Oh my, Zhou Xiaoping felt that resigning was a great idea. He could jump out of the quagmire and avoid sinking deeper and deeper. Yao Lin asked anxiously, Why do you want to resign? You fought so hard and you just gave up like this. Yao Lin was really anxious for others. She looked as if her own interests had been harmed. However, without Zhou Xiaoping, Yao Lin wasn't as comfortable in the company. People's mentality and aura were different from those who had someone to rely on. Zhou Xiaoping was baffled. Why was Yao Lin so anxious? It was as if she had intervened in his life. Even his wife wasn't so anxious about resigning. Why was Yao Lin so anxious? However, Zhou Xiaoping was still very happy. His sullen mood had been released. It was rare to see her so anxious. Yao Lin calmed herself down and asked, "Aren't you doing well? Why are you resigning? Also, I didn't plan to tell anyone about that. Are you so guarded against me? Don't you even want your own future?" Zhou Xiaoping said very straightforwardly, "Yes, I don't believe you." Yao Lin's actions made Zhou Xiaoping very uneasy. He could predict the development of the matter. Yao Lin. This was too straightforward. She didn't want to hurt Zhou Xiaoping at all. With Zhou Xiaoping around, Yao Lin felt at ease. Yao Lin was just short of cursing and swearing. "Vice President Zhou, you're being too suspicious. What good will it do for me to make this matter public?" Not thinking about it now didn't mean in the future. Because people's appetites would get bigger and bigger, and their greed would get heavier and heavier. In the end, they would be implicated. Zhou Xiaoping couldn't be bothered to look at Yao Lin, so he turned around and left. Yao Lin chased after Zhou Xiaoping in her high heels and asked anxiously, "Then where will Vice President Zhou go in the future?" Zhou Xiaoping turned to look at her. "What does that have to do with you? In order to avoid you, I've already resigned. Why should I let you know where I'm going? Dream on." Zhou Xiaoping entered the office, and Yao Lin followed him in. Zhou Xiaoping saw that she had followed him in. Through the glass window, there were many colleagues outside. If someone saw them in the same room together, who knew what would happen? He didn't want anything to happen before he left. "Why did you come in? Get out." Zhou Xiaoping said in a low voice, his face full of helplessness. Yao Lin, men. When he was hugging her, he had a different attitude. Now, he had a different attitude. It was truly chilling. Women always had special feelings for men who were intimate with them. Although they didn't seem to have reached the final step, their relationship was still different. Yao Lin got a little bit of care and reliance from Zhou Xiaoping. She unconsciously treated Zhou Xiaoping as different from the other colleagues. Yao Lin looked at Zhou Xiaoping eagerly. "After leaving the company, where are you going?" Zhou Xiaoping said coldly, "I don't know. I don't have any plans for the time being. Don't ask. I don't even know myself." Yao Lin couldn't help but say, "Vice President Zhou, can't you not resign?" Zhou Xiaoping chuckled. If he didn't resign, something would definitely happen. If he did, it would be a misfire. Sooner or later, something would happen. Moreover, Zhou Xiaoping saw a trace of hidden affection between Yao Lin's eyebrows. Even she herself might not have noticed it. However, Zhou Xiaoping noticed it. Especially the way Yao Lin looked at him. His heart was beating fast. It wasn't excitement, but fear and disgust. She really wanted to stick to him. She really had improper thoughts. Zhou Xiaoping pointed at the door. "Hurry up and get out. I have to work. Don't talk about this in the future. Work hard in the company in the future." After exchanging a few pleasantries, Zhou Xiaoping sent Yao Lin away. Yao Lin still wanted to say something, but when she saw Zhou Xiaoping staring at the computer, he didn't intend to pay attention to her at all. Yao Lin wanted to talk to Zhou Xiaoping after work. At work, Yao Lin was absent-minded. She was upset and frequently looked in the direction of Zhou Xiaoping's office. Some of her work fell behind. When she saw Zhou Xiaoping leave the office after work, she hurriedly took her bag and chased after him. When Zhou Xiaoping saw Yao Lin, he immediately quickened his pace and rushed to the garage. He got in the car and started it. "You can't afford to offend me, okay? There are good and bad peach blossoms. If you get into trouble with a bad peach blossom, your family might be ruined. A moment of temptation and joy in exchange for turmoil. You would rather live a stable and ordinary life." Yao Lin, was she so scary? Why did he avoid her like she was a snake? Yao Lin stepped in her high heels and quickly blocked the front of the car. She opened her arms and blocked without hesitation. Zhou Xiaoping stepped on the brakes. His whole body leaned forward and he almost hit his head on the steering wheel. This woman was simply a lunatic. She wanted to die, but she still wanted to implicate her. Zhou Xiaoping got out of the car and violently pulled Yao Lin to the side. He said fiercely, "What do you want?" Yao Lin was frightened by the ferocious Zhou Xiaoping and muttered, "I just want to have a good talk with you. I'm sure you have misunderstood me." Zhou Xiaoping, "So what if there is a misunderstanding? So what if there is no misunderstanding? I don't want to hear it at all." Zhou Xiaoping decided that he didn't need to wait 3 months. He didn't need to go to the company tomorrow. This woman was simply crazy. "Stop pestering me." She was just like a malicious spirit. Yao Lin was hurt by Zhou Xiaoping's attitude. They were in the same boat and had shared secrets. They had experienced some things together. Yao Lin was probably a little moved or delusional. She might have expanded some emotions. Zhou Xiaoping pushed Yao Lin away and hurriedly ran away. Women were really scary. Yao Lin squatted on the ground and buried her head in tears. She was a little angry, a little heartbroken, and a little resentful. How could he treat her like this? Zhou Xiaoping returned home. When he saw Ning Shu arranging flowers, he instantly felt calm. It was good to be so calm and warm. There were man-eating flowers outside. They could swallow him in one bite. Ning Shu glanced at Zhou Xiaoping and ignored him. She continued arranging flowers. At least it would make her feel better. Ning Shu felt that taking care of a child was really too tough. She had such a strong mental strength, but she still felt tired and weak. An ordinary woman's body was still very weak after giving birth. She also had to take care of the infant every day. No wonder so many women looked haggard and tired after giving birth. She didn't have the energy to do other things. The child had already exhausted all her mental strength. To watch the new chapter of Zue, please go to mobile address. Chapter 3887. Zhou Xiaoping looked at the calm and elegant Ning Shu and said emotionally, "Ting Ting, I miss you." "Ning Shu? What is he doing? Why is he flirting with me?" But thinking about it, it was normal. Zhou Xiaoping was not a man of few words. He was also sweet to his client. Ning Shu looked at the warmth and determination in Zhou Xiaoping's eyes and was a little surprised. It seemed that Zhou Xiaoping was determined to protect his family and even resign. In fact, thinking about it carefully, Zhou Xiaoping was not a fool. Of course, he knew what to choose. In the plot, the two of them were real and did not go to the police station. But now, Zhou Xiaoping and the employee did not have any substantial relationship. Because of the embarrassing incident at the police station, Zhou Xiaoping only wanted to stay far away from the employee. He wanted a loyal and capable family. No child, no relationship. A normal person would know what to choose. Choose whichever side was beneficial. Reducing losses was a normal person's reaction. Now, his wife and child were still there, a complete family. The situation in the plot was the opposite. The client and Zhou Xiaoping did not have a child. The child was lost and could never be found. They could not have another child to fill the pain. Zhou Xiaoping had a one-night stand with an employee, and she got pregnant and had a child. It was a child that Zhou Xiaoping wished for but could not have. Under such circumstances, in order to protect himself and his child, he chose to give up the client. The client was hurt. Zhou Xiaoping was also hurt. He also needed a child to soothe the pain in his heart. As for whether Zhou Xiaoping liked or loved the employee, Ning Shu felt that there was not much affection. It was probably for the child in her belly. The client and Zhou Xiaoping had a foundation of feelings. With these prerequisites, Ning Shu did not care about Zhou Xiaoping's loyalty at all. Zhou Xiaoping said to Ning Shu, "From now on, I will find a new job. Don't worry, I will definitely be able to support you and your mother." Ning Shu did not comment. She did not intend to pursue Zhou Xiaoping. If they could break up peacefully, she did not intend to go to court. But if they had to make things ugly, Ning Shu was not afraid. There was also the matter of Zhao Qiaohong. She would not be satisfied if she did not teach her a lesson. After the divorce, Zhou Xiaoping would definitely get married and have children again. If his wife gave birth to a grandson, he was afraid that she would want to throw the child away. He had to think about what to do. Zhou Xiaoping was still imagining a beautiful life in the future. He had no idea how his wife was planning to divorce him. With the least effort. First of all, he had to get the approval of his wife's family. The client's parents would definitely not agree to their daughter's divorce with their son-in-law. A divorced woman would not have a better life than a divorced man, especially Ning Shu planned to take a child. It could be imagined how difficult it was for a single mother to take care of a child and raise a child. She had to work and raise a child. The child lived in an incomplete family, which was a kind of harm to the child. There was a lack of fatherly love. It was not good to reorganize a family with a child. Was a man willing to raise a child who was not his own blood? She always felt a knot in her heart. Even if she met a good man, how many chances were she could meet a man who was open-minded? The chances were too small. Waiting for such a chance was as illusory as waiting for a miracle. The older generation felt that even if it was for the child, even if the relationship was not good or the life was depressed, they had to endure it bitterly just to give a child a complete family. It was as if they were a complete family. They didn't lack a mother or a father. They were a complete family. Child, let me go, okay? Therefore, persuading the client's parents was the most important thing. Ning Shu said to Zhou Xiaoping, I plan to take the child back to my mother's house for a few days. My parents haven't seen the child much, so I'll bring her back to see their granddaughter. Zhou Xiaoping did not suspect anything and asked gently, Do you want me to go with you? Ning Shu refused without thinking. If you go, how can I talk to my parents about the divorce? No, you do your thing. I'll give you some money. You can buy more things for your parents-in-law. Zhou Xiaoping said as he transferred some money to Ning Shu. Ning Shu listened to the sound of the phone's notification. There was 2,000 yuan. It was not a lot but not a little. It was quite generous. This money was for her to buy things for her parents. 2,000 yuan could buy a lot of things. It was nothing more than some fruits and supplements. It was enough and there would be some left. At night, Zhou Xiaoping hugged Ning Shu and had improper thoughts. Ning Shu pushed Zhou Xiaoping away and almost threw Zhou Xiaoping off the bed. Zhou Xiaoping, who was pushed away, was a little stunned. Ning Shu said expressionlessly, Don't bother. Don't wake the child up. It's not easy to coax her to sleep. Zhou Xiaoping, he sighed silently. Children were indeed killers in a two-person world. However, the most stable relationship in the world was a triangle. In a family, parents and children formed a triangle. It was said that children were the ties that held the family together. It was as big as politics. Governance. In the imperial court, even if the emperor wanted the stability of the imperial court, he could promote two opposing ministers. In this way, the monarch and two important ministers formed a triangle. This was the essence of the art of balance. However, some triangular relationships were very dangerous. For example, feelings, mother-in-law, daughter-in-law, and husband. Zhou Xiaoping's enthusiasm was completely extinguished. They hadn't contacted each other for a long time and hadn't said anything intimate for a long time. Now, his wife only had the child in her heart. It was as if she couldn't leave the child for a moment. She probably didn't have any sense of security and was afraid that the child would be lost again. Speaking of which, it was all his mother's fault. What could he do? He could only bear with it. The next day, Ning Shu dragged her bags back to her parents' home. She received a warm welcome from her parents. Mama Yin hugged her granddaughter and smiled and kissed her. Even Papa Yin, who was a little stiff and not good with words, laughed heartily. Ning Shu. If she talked about the divorce now, she could guarantee that the atmosphere would turn cold. She had to wait until they were no longer excited. When Ning Shu said that she would be staying at home for a few days, the atmosphere became a little strange. Mama Yin asked, Did you have a conflict with your son-in-law? What the heck? Why were they so sensitive? Staying at her parents' home for a few days was a relationship problem? Ning Shu wanted to say no, but if she were to talk about the divorce in 2 days, wouldn't that be a slap in the face? Hence, Ning Shu showed some worry on her face to give her parents some leeway. She didn't want to be so happy and suddenly talk about the divorce. She was afraid that it would be too exciting and cause the two elders to have high blood pressure. Mama Een couldn't be bothered to carry the child. She stuffed the child into her husband's arms. To watch the new chapter of Zue, please go to mobile address. Chapter 3888. Papa Een was caught off guard and almost couldn't catch the child. He hugged the child slowly and heaved a sigh of relief. Mama Een asked, "What exactly happened? Did my son-in-law do something to let you down?" Ning Shu's expression was a little awkward. He wanted to say something but stopped. Mama Een was so anxious that she punched Ning Shu's back. "Say it. Are you trying to make me anxious?" Ning Shu was hit so hard that she choked. Mama Een was really strong. Ning Shu took 2 deep breaths and said, "He didn't do anything to let me down. It's his mother." Papa Een frowned. "What's the matter? She's giving you a hard time. Didn't you just give birth not long ago?" Mama Een understood women's minds better. She doesn't mind that you gave birth to a daughter and doesn't treat you well. Papa Een frowned. "That can't be. She seems like an easy person to talk to. She's also a reasonable person." Everyone had a bottom line and something they cared about. Zhao Qiaohong cared about a grandson. In order to let her daughter-in-law have another child, she didn't hesitate to throw away her granddaughter. She was afraid that her daughter-in-law wouldn't have another child after having a granddaughter. Then she wouldn't have a grandson. Ning Shu's tears fell pitifully. Mama Een was anxious and distressed. She punched Ning Shu's back again. "What are you crying for? Explain it clearly." "Ning Shu, my dear mother." The tears that he had painstakingly brewed were gone. Ning Shu couldn't cry even if he wanted to. It was better to cry without tears. Ning Shu sniffed and said, "It's okay if she only dislikes me." She even threw the child away. Mama Een almost jumped up. "What's the matter?" Ning Shu blabbered on and explained the whole story clearly. When he was done, he even gulped down half a glass of water to moisten his throat. "That's what happened. Mother, tell me, why should I stay with such a family?" Mama Een and Papa Een looked at each other. Mama Een was a little hot-tempered. "I'm going to look for her." "That's too cruel. What did Xiaoping say?" Ning Shu shook his head. "What can he say? That's his mother." Father Een said expressionlessly, "The one I'm carrying is his daughter." This is his reaction to losing his daughter, and he even created a petition. "Ha ha," Papa Een laughed sinisterly, his face expressionless. Ning Shu stuttered, "That's why I want a divorce. I can't eat or sleep well now. As long as the child isn't in front of me, I'm scared. I'm always afraid that my mother-in-law will throw the child away when I'm not paying attention. You see, it's not a big deal that she threw the child away this time. She just went to the police station for a few days and then came back." Ning Shu buried herself in Mama Yin's arms and wailed loudly. "Mother, I'm so scared. If this goes on, I think I'll go crazy. I can't let the child leave my side. Once she leaves, I'll go crazy looking for her. I don't dare to go out. I'm afraid that the child will be snatched away. I gave birth to this child after much difficulty. The scar on my stomach is still hurting. I love her and dote on her, but I'm afraid that this kind of emotion will affect the child. In the future, the child will hate me. Mother, what do you think I should do? Am I suffering from postpartum depression? Is there something wrong with my mind?" Their daughter's cries tore the old couple's hearts apart. When Mama Een saw her daughter's blank and helpless expression and the deep sorrow between her brows, she knew that her daughter really had no choice but to come to them. Mama Een asked hoarsely, "Then what did Zhou Xiaoping say? Did he agree to the divorce?" Ning Shu shook her head and said, "I haven't told him yet. I want to wait a little longer." After the news of Zhou Xiaoping's resignation was confirmed, if they divorced before then, wouldn't that be helping Zhou Xiaoping and that lowly employee? Although she didn't have any direct grievances with that lowly employee, she still didn't want to help them. Otherwise, Zhou Xiaoping would have a fruitful career and love life. Moreover, if Zhou Xiaoping didn't have a job anymore, the chances of winning the child would be a little higher. She would add another chip to the balance. It wasn't that she had to fight Zhou Xiaoping to the death. Everything was for the sake of the child. Moreover, Ning Shu guessed that if they could really get a divorce, Perhaps Zhou Xiaoping's mother, Zhao Qiaohong, would be eager for her daughter-in-law to take her granddaughter away. In this way, when Zhou Xiaoping got married in the future, there wouldn't be a burden. Ning Shu thought that if she left the child in the Zhou family, she could imagine what kind of life the child would lead. Perhaps if the child knew, she would say that she would rather not have been found. Now that things had developed to this point, the child was found and not lost, and Zhou Xiaoping didn't betray the family. She chose to be loyal to the family and didn't have a child. It seemed that there was no need for a divorce at all. Divorce was something that harmed others without benefiting oneself. The client didn't mention the husband at all. All her wishes were related to the child. Ning Shu was a little hesitant about the marriage. Should she get a divorce? Anyway, this marriage to her, as an outsider, was of little value. It was tasteless, but it was a pity to throw it away. There was also the existence of Zhao Qiaohong that was like a fishbone stuck in her throat. No mistakes were made because Ning Shu had intervened. If no one intervened, it would happen naturally. Zhou Xiaoping's husband, in general, was a good person. Everyone made mistakes. It was the greatest thing that could be improved. Forgiving him seemed to be a good ending. Everyone was fine, and the situation was very good. It was a great reunion. It seemed that this was a perfect ending. The person who was hurt forgave the bad person, and she herself was redeemed. Forgiving the person who hurt her could lead to redemption. She had to sacrifice herself to fulfill everyone's wishes. Ning Shu didn't know whether there was redemption or not. She only knew that bullying good people was a phenomenon. Ning Shu thought about the client's feelings about this marriage and reread the plot again. They had decided to get a divorce. Father Yin carried the child and gritted his teeth as he said, "Fuck Zhou Xiaoping. I can't let this matter rest. If I get a divorce, my life will be ruined." Ning Shu was speechless. What a straight man. Once a woman gets a divorce, her life will be ruined. She can't even live anymore. Ning Shu's tears flowed freely. I can't live anymore. I'm going crazy. Maybe if I can't live anymore, I'll jump down from the building with the child and be free. Mother Yin clenched her fists and hammered Ning Shu with all her might. As she hammered, she said in a sobbing tone, "What do you mean by death? You're saying all this to scare your father and me. If you're so capable, go and die in front of Zhao Qiaohong. What's the point of scaring us?" Ning Shu was hammered so hard that she really wanted to cry. Her biological mother was hitting her so hard that she didn't even dare to speak. If they got a divorce, Mother Yin would probably hammer her to death. To watch the new chapter of Zue, please go to mobile address. Chapter 3889. Ning Shu coughed and said, "I'm only telling you what's in my heart. I just said these things in front of my mother-in-law. I said that I felt terrible and wanted to die. She's not even her biological child. Why would she care about me? She didn't even care about her own daughter. Why would she care about a daughter-in-law? I had no choice but to come back to you." Ning Shu wiped his tears and moved away from Mama Yin to avoid being hit again. Mama Yin asked, "If you insist on getting a divorce, you can just not let your mother-in-law come to our house." Ning Shu said expressionlessly, "What if your son doesn't let you in?" Mama Yin was furious. "How dare he? He wants to turn the world upside down." Ning Shu looked at Mama Yin silently. Zhou Xiaoping and Zhao Qiaohong's relationship was an unchangeable fact. Mama Yin was discouraged. Zhao Qiaohong is already so old. Let's just wait for her to die. Ning Shu was speechless. Zhao Qiaohong was in her 60s now. What if she lived to be 80 or 90 years old? Half of her life would be gone. She had sacrificed half of her life just to wait for Zhao Qiaohong to die. Ning Shu was speechless. She had already used it. How difficult would her life be? How miserable would her heart be? This was purely for the sake of self-abuse. Ning Shu decided not to discuss the divorce anymore. He told Mama Yin and Papa Yin that he would stay at home for a few days. The old couple was worried when they saw Ning Shu. Ning Shu was going back after a few days. Before he left, he said to the old couple, "Dad, Mom, I hope you can support my divorce. I will be responsible for my life. Don't be afraid of being laughed at because of my divorce. We live our own lives. Only we know if it's good or bad. Other people's feelings are not important. You live a happy life in other people's eyes, but I have to suffer for the rest of my life. Mama Yin wanted to hit Ning Shu again, but Ning Shu avoided her. He was a little afraid of Mama Yin's iron fist. Papa Yin was silent for a while. He sighed and said, "If you want to get a divorce, then go ahead. Your mother and I will take care of the children in the future. You have to go out and work. Your mother and I are retired. We don't have the money to support you." Ning Shu smiled and nodded. "Thank you, Thvid. I got it." Mama Yin wanted to say something, but after thinking about it, she got even angrier. She said in a fit of anger, "I'll wait for you to regret it. Let's see who you'll cry to then." Ning Shu smiled and said, "Of course I'm crying to my mother." Mama Yin scoffed. "See if I'll bother with you then." Ning Shu brought the child home. Zhou Xiuping came back a little late. When he saw Ning Shu, he changed his shoes and said, "Didn't you say you were going to play for a while? Why are you back so soon? How are your parents?" "My precious daughter." Zhou Xiuping picked up his daughter and kissed her. Ning Shu asked, "How's your work going? When are you leaving the company?" Zhou Xiuping coaxed the child and said, "I've already hired someone. I can leave the company after I've completed the handover." Ning Shu said, "That's fast. I have something to discuss with you." Zhou Xiuping said with a relaxed expression, "Go ahead. I'm listening." Ning Shu said, "Let's get a divorce." Zhou Xiuping's smile gradually froze. He frowned and then laughed, but his smile was very forced. "You're joking with me again, right?" Ning Shu looked at him expressionlessly until Zhou Xiuping's expression became very serious. He looked at Ning Shu with some pain. "But is it because I've resigned? Are you afraid that I won't be able to support the two of you? Even if I don't have this job, I still have another one. Even if I starve myself, I won't starve the two of you." Ning Shu said, "You know the reason. Don't try to hide it." Zhou Xiuping's eyes were a bit red. "Yin Ting, you're being unfair. You're blaming everything my mother did on me. I'm being blamed for it. You didn't even think about giving me a chance. You're being unfair and cruel to me. I will never agree to a divorce." Zhou Xiuping's attitude was very firm. Ning Shu said calmly, "You are you. Your mother is your mother. What she did can't be blamed on you. But this is a family, not an individual's matter. If this matter was done by Zhou Xiuping's sister, other siblings, or relatives, they could naturally cut off all ties and never contact each other again. But Zhou Xiuping was responsible for his parents. Just like this time, Zhou Xiuping still had to write a petition to get Zhao Qiaohong out. She had lost her own child, so she still had to forgive her. "To be honest, I'm worried every day that your mother will throw the child away again. I can't live like this anymore." Zhou Xiuping sneered. "This reason is too far-fetched." Ning Shu also sneered. "Far-fetched? How many days does it take for a child to grow up? Can I watch her every day? Who knows when your mother will lose her mind and throw the child away again? If this reason is far-fetched, then is it enough that you cheated on your marriage and were arrested by the police?" Zhou Xiuping stared at Ning Shu in shock and said, "How did you know?" His first reaction was that Yao Lin had found his wife and confessed to her. His wife was angry and wanted to divorce him. It was Yao Lin who wanted to perish together with him and destroy his family. It could be seen how terrible Yao Lin's image in Zhou Xiuping's heart was. Zhou Xiuping had his reasons for thinking this way. Because in the company, Yao Lin looked at him with more and more resentment. The closer it was to leaving the company, Yao Lin's actions became more and more strange. Every time Yao Lin stared at him, Zhou Xiuping felt his hair stand on end. He always felt that Yao Lin was going to do something earth-shattering. So this was what she was waiting for. Zhou Xiuping was furious. He suppressed his emotions and said to Ning Shu, "Ting, listen to my explanation." Ning Shu shook his head. "I'm not listening. Are you stupid? If you commit a crime, won't the police inform your family? Especially when she was the informant." "Zhou Xiuping," he said weakly, "it's not like that. I can explain." Ning Shu looked at him, waiting to see how he would explain. Zhou Xiuping said, "I don't know what the police told you, but I'm not in a relationship with her. I said that to avoid prostitution. Ning Shu said, "Oh, then you two are a one-night stand." Zhou Xiaoping held his head in pain. He couldn't explain and couldn't explain. He struggled. "Nothing happened between us. Do you believe me?" Ning Shu said, "I've seen the photos. Both of you are naked." Zhou Xiaoping, do you believe that we don't have a substantial relationship? Zhou Xiaoping looked at Ning Shu expectantly. Ning Shu spread out his hands. "It doesn't matter whether I believe it or not. What's important is that I want a divorce, even if you two are just chatting naked." To watch the new chapter of Zue, please go to mobile address. Chapter 3890. When Zhou Xiaoping saw Ning Shu's attitude, he couldn't help but say, "No wonder you didn't feel anything when I resigned. So you want to divorce me?" A normal wife would persuade her husband to resign because it was related to living expenses. Without a job, it was equivalent to not having money to live. Even Yao Lin was very anxious when she saw him resign. Yao Lin was already so anxious just because she wanted to gain some benefits at work, let alone when they were husband and wife. Ning Shu was speechless. "You're still feeling wronged?" Ning Shu said, "First of all, you have to understand the logic. You were the one who wanted to resign, not the other way around. It looked like she was forcing a good girl into prostitution. You did something wrong, yet you still feel wronged." Zhou Xiaoping decided not to harp on this. He firmly said that he wouldn't divorce her even if he died. Zhou Xiaoping looked at Ning Shu pitifully. "I did do something to let you down, but you have to believe me. I don't have that kind of relationship with that woman. I was wrong. Please forgive me. I will never do such a thing in the future. If I do, I will chop myself." Zhou Xiaoping raised his hand and swore with an extremely serious expression. Ning Shu was speechless. "I don't even like to chop myself anymore. In the end, I met a man who was so ruthless to himself." Ning Shu was expressionless. "You chop yourself. It has nothing to do with me. I want to divorce you peacefully, but if you still refuse to talk, then we can only go through legal procedures. When the time comes, your mother will be brought up again when she loses her child. Also, the matter of you going to prostitutes will also be brought up." Zhou Xiaoping corrected him. "I didn't go to prostitutes." Ning Shu was a little angry. "Then you're still having an affair. It doesn't matter if you're looking for a lover or a one-night stand." Zhou Xiaoping came back to his senses and stared sharply at Ning Shu. "You want to take the child away. Not only do you want a divorce, but you also want to take the child away. Yinting, aren't you thinking too much?" She was very upset. Ning Shu spread his hands and said, "Not only do I think a lot, but I also think very beautifully. Tell your parents. We have to inform them about our divorce. I think if your mother knows that we are getting a divorce and that we are taking away a burden, she will be very happy. She can't wait for us to get a divorce immediately," Ning Shu said. Zhou Xiaoping sighed. "Can you not be so sarcastic? This child is the blood of the Zhou family." Ning Shu said, "Oh, is he your Zhou family's child?" "No, he still doesn't have a proper name, and he hasn't been registered in your household register yet. How can he be your child?" Zhou Xiaoping was stunned. He had been too busy recently. First, he lost his child. Then, Zhao Qiaohong was detained. Then he was sent to the police station. Then, it was time to resign. Too many things had happened. He had forgotten about the matter of the child's household register. He would definitely do it, but he couldn't remember at that moment. That meant that when they got a divorce, Yinting only needed to transfer her household register and the child would follow her household register. Then he wouldn't have to be so busy twice. When did she become so smart? Even if he wanted to register the child's household register now, she wouldn't allow it. Zhou Xiaoping's head hurt. He said in pain, "You are deliberately planning to divorce me." Ning Shu's eyebrows were about to rise. "I was the one who asked your mother to throw the child away. I was the one who asked you to have an affair?" Zhou Xiaoping said, "Aren't you in the wrong? You are very cold to me. I feel terrible. In a moment of confusion, I haven't made a big mistake. My mother is my mother. You can't give up on me because of her. Are you fair to me? Are you fair?" Ning Shu, Fuck you. Fair? You want to be fair with me? Just because the child is a girl, you want to take away her life? Is that fair to the child? Is that fair? Some people don't need to be punished when they do something wrong. Is that fair? Is that fair? Zhou Xiaoping held his head in pain. He took a deep breath and said, I think we should calm down before talking about this. We haven't reached the stage of a divorce yet. It hasn't been easy for us to be together. Are you going to give up just like that? Ning Shu nodded. Yes, I'm going to give up just like that. Let's part on good terms. If you insist on making a big scene, I'll accompany you. Seeing that Ning Shu wasn't moved by force or persuasion, Zhou Xiaoping had no choice but to bring up his parents-in-law. They won't let you get a divorce. If his daughter got a divorce, it wouldn't look good and people would gossip. Ning Shu chuckled. Did you think that I went back to play these few days? I've already made arrangements for them. Zhou Xiaoping was so aggrieved that he cried. You just want to divorce me. Everything has been done and I'm the last to know. Are you telling me that it's time to get a divorce? Ning Shu nodded. I'm telling you now. We're getting a divorce. Zhou Xiaoping wanted to hug Ning Shu, but Ning Shu pushed him away with his strong arms. He stumbled and almost fell to the ground. Zhou Xiaoping was speechless for a long time. He spat out, You're quite strong. Was she still his little Jiao Jiao? Ning Shu said, Of course. I trained from carrying a child. Zhou Xiaoping followed behind Ning Shu like a dog wagging its tail. Whatever Ning Shu did, he would follow. Whenever Ning Shu took care of the child, he would help take care of the child. Ning Shu chuckled. This person was used to being obedient. Whenever there was a sign, his attitude would be so good that it made one's heart ache. Ning Shu said, If you have the time to play around with me, why don't you inform your parents about our relationship earlier? You're doing this because you think that there's still room for negotiation. Let me tell you, there isn't. Zhou Xiaoping said firmly, There is. Ning Shu rolled his eyes. You can do whatever you want. When he went to the toilet, he locked the door and sat on the toilet to call Zhou Xiaoping's father. The Zhou family's father-in-law seemed to be a reasonable person. At least he could communicate with him. He was also the head of the family. He told him that his son and I were going to divorce and that we had already discussed it. When he opened the door of the toilet, Zhou Xiaoping was waiting at the door, looking at him quietly. Ning Shu thought, Crazy. Zhou Xiaoping asked, Did you call your parents? It's such a big thing. I have to inform them. Ning Shu didn't deny it. There was nothing to deny. Zhou Xiaoping fell silent. He didn't say anything about not getting a divorce. He quietly helped Ning Shu take care of the child and do the housework. However, Ning Shu always saw him go out for a smoke when he had nothing to do. The corridor was filled with smoke. Ning Shu felt that he was probably going to ascend to heaven and become a deity. After smoking, he would disperse the smell in the corridor before going into the house. After receiving the call, Zhou Xiaoping quickly came over with his wife with an anxious look on his face. To watch the new chapter of Zue, please go to mobile address. Chapter 3891. As soon as they entered the house, Zhao Qiaohong took the lead and asked her son and daughter-in-law, Why are you getting a divorce? Why are you getting a divorce? Ning Shu was silent. Why are you getting a divorce? Don't you have any idea in your heart? Zhou Shitu asked. Did something happen? Is it because of your mother? Isn't this matter over? I'll take good care of her. Zhou Xiaoping said to his parents, Come into the house. I'll explain this matter to you. Ning Shu said, Just say it outside. You have to isolate me. This is between you and me. You have to hide it from me. What's so hard to say? Zhou Xiaoping naturally wouldn't go against his wife at this time. He could only tell his parents about the matter. Zhou Shitu picked up his walking stick and hit his son. His expression was one of disappointment. However, Zhao Qiaohong's attitude was a little meaningful. Her focus was, Will that girl be pregnant? You're already like that. Zhou Shitu almost threw his walking stick at his wife. They were about to get a divorce, but she was still adding fuel to the fire. So what if she was pregnant? It was not legitimate. Zhou Xiaoping. His mother must be an enemy spy. Otherwise, why would she trick him like this? Ning Shu agreed with Xiao Qiaohong's words and said, I also think that Gu Liang might be pregnant. Maybe it's a son. I'll make room for that, Gu Liang. I can't let your grandson not acknowledge his ancestors outside. He couldn't inherit the throne and the vast country. Speaking of a son, Xiao Qiaohong's eyes lit up. Her expression directly betrayed her inner desire. Some people loved money, some people loved women, and some people were greedy for power. Everyone had desires. Xiao Qiaohong hoped to have a grandson who could continue the Zhou family and take care of her when she was old. They all had persistence and longed for something in their hearts. Zhou Xiaoping's heart was already numb. He couldn't blame his mother because he was a beneficiary of the concept of favoring boys over girls. He had been a beneficiary since he was young. Now that his own daughter had become the victim of this concept, he could not righteously blame his mother for favoring boys over girls. Because he was the one his mother gave birth to. Zhou Xiaoping felt that he had to find a way to solve the problem once and for all. He could understand why his wife wanted a divorce, but understanding didn't mean that he had to accept it. Xiao Qiaohong looked at her husband, who was staring at her gloomily. She came back to her senses and said, How could I get pregnant so quickly? Zhou Dongwei was speechless. Zhou Xiaoping was speechless. Was that the main point? Actually, the main point of this matter was that he had done something wrong to his wife. But Mom didn't seem to realize it. It was very powerless. Ning Shu felt that Xiao Qiaohong's evil was only on the surface. If she had a grandson, she would definitely be a good person, easy to talk to, and kind. She might take into account that her daughter-in-law had given birth to a grandson. If he loved her, he would treat his daughter-in-law better. She was a very traditional woman. Carrying on the family line was more important than anything else. This child was a girl. He didn't know how good she could be to her granddaughter, but she was so disgusted that she threw her away. It was also a little dumbfounded. Zhou Xiaoping was very regretful. He shouldn't have brought her here. It was simply adding fuel to the fire. Zhou Xiaoping pulled Zhou Qiaohong to the side and left the room to talk in the corridor. Only Ning Shu and the old man were in the room. Zhou Xiaoping comforted his daughter-in-law and said, Ting Ting, you've been wronged. Ning Shu said, Yes. The child has also been wronged. Could it be that just saying that she had been wronged was enough? Once she said that she had been wronged, she would feel that all the grievances she had suffered were worth it? Zhou Xiaoping was speechless. He didn't know how to respond. Sometimes, when people said that they had been wronged to others, as for what they thought in their hearts, they were still forced to say something similar to an apology. But in reality, it was useless. They knew that they had been wronged, but they didn't do anything. It was useless to say it. They didn't want to hear it. In the corridor, Zhou Xiaoping first glanced at the door. The door was still closed. Xiao Qiaohong was a little dissatisfied. What's the matter? You're sneaking around like a thief. This is your home. He didn't even dare to enter the house. Zhou Xiaoping whispered to Xiao Qiaohong, Mom, I've been fired. It was Zhou Xiaoping who had taken the initiative to resign, but he told Xiao Qiaohong that he had been fired. Xiao Qiaohong immediately said angrily, Why should the company fire you? I'll go to your company to reason. You were doing well. Why did you fire him? Xiao Qiaohong was proud of her son's prospects. It seemed like he was the company's CEO. No matter what, he was a CEO. If she had a grandson, her son would be a winner in life. They would be reunited. Zhou Xiaoping said, Keep your voice down. Being fired by the company isn't something to be proud of. It was because of that incident that I was fired by the company. I had that kind of thing with a female employee. Go ahead and make a fuss. In the end, everyone will know about it. I won't even be able to find another job, Zhou Xiaoping said with a slight threat. I don't have a job now. Ting Ting wants to divorce me and take away the child. After the divorce, I won't have money or a job. Which woman will be willing to be with me? Zhou Xiaoping's tone was full of helplessness and bitterness. If Ting Ting divorces me, I probably won't be able to find a wife anymore. Xiao Qiaohong was a person who hadn't seen much of the world. When she heard her son say this, she said uncertainly, Is it not that bad? How is it not that bad? I don't have a job now. I have to start over. My situation will only improve slightly for at least 5 years. 5 years is the most basic. You'll only be able to find a wife after 10 years. Zhao Qiaohong was threatened by her son. She was so frightened that she said, "Then you have to make it clear to Tingting. Don't divorce her. Tell her. At most, I'll kneel down in front of her." Hearing that Zhao Qiaohong was going to kneel down in front of Ning Shu, Zhou Xiuping was so scared that he trembled. To be honest, no matter what Zhao Qiaohong did now, Yin Ting would think that she had ulterior motives in her heart. It's still because of the child. Mom, don't say that the child is a girl in the future. Don't interfere in our affairs and don't urge her to have another child. The child is still young and I don't have a job. How can I support the child? Zhao Qiaohong nodded repeatedly. "Okay, I won't say anymore." If her son didn't even have a wife, he would be laughed at for being a bachelor at his age. Although the child was a girl, she was still her son's child. If she was taken away by her daughter-in-law, she would have nothing left. Zhou Xiuping saw that she had taken his words to heart. He was still a little worried and said, "When the time comes, don't say anything. She'll be angry with you." "Okay." Zhou Xiuping and Zhao Qiaohong finished talking and went into the house. In the house, Ning Shu and his father-in-law were speechless and silent. To watch the new chapter of Zue, please go to mobile address. Chapter 3892. When his son and his wife came back, Zhou Dongshou breathed a sigh of relief. After all, he was an old man, and there were some things that he couldn't say to his daughter-in-law. Ning Shu put the child in the stroller and said to Zhao Qiaohong, "Grandma, I also have something to tell you. Let's go to the corridor outside." Zhao Qiaohong quickly looked at her son, silently asking him what she should do now. Zhou Xiuping didn't expect his wife to be willing to talk to his mother. He thought that they would never talk to each other. He just didn't know what to say. Zhou Xiuping nodded to Zhao Qiaohong. Zhao Qiaohong could only follow Ning Shu to the corridor. Zhao Qiaohong asked Ning Shu, "Tingting, what do you want to tell me?" Ning Shu said, "I don't know what he said to you, but what I want to tell you is that I plan to break up with Zhou Xiuping peacefully. If we can't break up peacefully, and he continues to be so stubborn, then we can only meet in court. Once we go to court, do you know what you will face?" Zhao Qiaohong's face was a little blue. Her son threatened her, and now it was her daughter-in-law's turn to threaten her? Zhao Qiaohong asked with some despair, "What will I face?" Ning Shu laughed. When Zhao Qiaohong heard the laughter, she felt that it was a bit gloating. Of course, there was also Zhao Qiaohong's imagination. Ning Shu said, "Once we go to court, I will say all the reasons for the divorce, including the fact that you abandoned the child and committed the crime of abandonment. This matter will be recorded in the police station." Zhao Qiaohong's face was completely blue. "Didn't we find the child? At most, I'll be charged with an attempted crime." Coming out of the police station, Zhao Qiaohong was scared and did some homework in this area. Ning Shu chuckled. She had failed to commit a crime. The child in the plot had been thrown away, and the client had never found it. This time, she went out in the hot weather to look for the child with the knife pain. The child was found, but this was not a reason to avoid punishment. This was the result that the client paid a price for. The motive for this matter was very chilling. Ning Shu, "Yes, I found the child. You may not know one thing, that is, I didn't sign the petition. Your petition is fake. It was your son who faked it. They let you go because you're old and you have this petition. If this petition is shown in court, you might have to go back, and you'll be charged with another crime." Uncle, she teaches a lesson. Zhao Qiaohong's face turned from green to white, and her lips trembled as she looked at Ning Shu. "Also, your son had an affair with a female employee in the company." "No, that's not right either. It seems to be a one-night stand. We have also filed a case at the police station. When the time comes, it will naturally be used as evidence in court. As for the man's side, you are the one at fault, and your son is also the one at fault." "What do I have to lose? I don't want to suffer. I will break up with you peacefully. If it doesn't work, we can go to court." Zhao Qiaohong's face was very ugly. Ning Shu thought for a moment and said, "Forget it, I suddenly want to go to court. I actually hate you." I will take revenge for my daughter and let the police station educate you for a few more days. If we go to court, this matter will blow up. It will also remind other girls that they have to be careful when marrying Zhou Xiaoping. Zhou Xiaoping has a mother who values boys over girls. She can only have sons, not daughters. Daughters will be thrown away. Zhao Qiaohong looked at Ning Shu in horror and was speechless. Ning Shu looked at Zhao Qiaohong and suggested sincerely, Aunt Zhao, I think you should let Zhou Xiaoping marry a man. A daughter-in-law is also a woman. Zhao Qiaohong hurried into the house and said to Zhou Xiaoping at the top of her lungs, divorce. You have to divorce. Divorce now. Zhou Xiaoping was speechless. Seeing Ning Shu enter the house after her, Zhou Xiaoping was puzzled. What did he say to his mother to scare her like this? Ning Shu smiled at Zhou Xiaoping. Dear, your mother suggested that we get a divorce immediately. Zhou Xiaoping glared at his wife. Why are you interfering in the matters between our son and daughter-in-law? Do you think things are not messy enough? All of this had happened because of her. Now, she was still urging her son and daughter-in-law to get a divorce. This marriage might really end soon. Zhou Xiaoping said helplessly, Mom, what did we say? Why are you doing this again? Zhao Qiaohong said, This bad woman. Ning Shu tilted her head and looked at her. She dragged her voice and let out a confused from her nasal cavity. Zhao Qiaohong immediately changed her words. If you don't get a divorce, Ting Ting will go to court with us. Go to court. She kept winking at her son and hinted that if they went to court, their matter would be written up in a big book. Then she would have to go to the police station again. Moreover, she didn't know that the petition was fake. She thought that this matter would be over. Since Yin Ting had signed the petition, it meant that she had forgiven her. In the end, it was her son who signed it. If they went to court, it would really be difficult for her son to find a wife in the future. It could be said that Ning Shu had completely grasped Zhao Qiaohong's Achilles heel. It would be difficult for her son to find a wife. Without a wife, how could she have a grandson? Zhou Xiaoping could tell that the old woman was definitely controlled by her daughter-in-law. It looked like she was definitely going to get a divorce. He said earnestly, Daughter-in-law, marriage is a road. No matter how smooth the road is, there will be bumps. There will be stones and uneven ground. Even if it's a little bumpy, you will clamor to get out of the car. Even if you get into another car, the result will be the same. Such an ideal is actually not realistic at all. In the end, the one who will suffer is still you. There was a huge gap between ideals and reality. This was the root of the pain. Ning Shu, that old master, what dirty joke are you talking about? Ning Shu shook his head and said, Your family's car is going to crash. You didn't plan to drive properly and insisted on driving to the edge of a cliff. Zhou Xiaoping, that he was speechless. Ning Shu carried the child and packed his things. He carried bags of various sizes. Inside were the child's supplies, the baby's birth certificate, and the family's household register. She was afraid that Zhou Xiaoping would secretly register the child's household register while she was away. Ning Shu said, You guys discuss it. Tell me when you're done. I'll go home. Zhao Qiaohong really couldn't stand Ning Shu being so arrogant, so she said, Leave the child. This is our Zhou family's child. Ning Shu turned to look at her. Are you sure? If the child is lost, you'll be committing a second crime. If the child is injured and bruised, you'll be abusing the child. Chapter 3893. When Zhao Qiaohong heard that it was abandonment and abuse, she quickly waved her hand. Take him away, take him away. She didn't want it. Ning Shu snorted. She wanted to use the child as a bargaining chip, but she didn't want to raise the child. What the hell? Ning Shu carried the child and left. Zhou Xiaoping chased after Ning Shu all the way downstairs, panting. Zhou Xiaoping couldn't help but say, Why are you running so fast? Ning Shu said, I'm taking care of the child. Zhou Xiaoping asked, Must you get a divorce? How can this matter end in a divorce? Ning Shu was annoyed. It's just a fucking divorce. It's like the end of the world. If I don't want to live with you, I have to get a divorce. I just don't want to live with you. I'm not happy, okay? Why should I fucking tolerate you and your mother? We're supposed to tolerate each other as a family. Why should I be the one to tolerate you? I don't like to tolerate now. That's it. Don't talk to me about enduring humiliation and tolerating each other. Marriage has always been like this. I don't care what marriage is like. I don't want this marriage, okay? This is the reason why this old lady should endure everything you do. This is the reason why this old lady should endure everything. There's a limit to self-hypnosis. Who cares who's right and who's wrong? It's just a divorce. Why make it such a big deal? Who's going to die? Zhou Xiaoping looked at the fierce Ning Shu and was a little speechless. He muttered, I just feel that this matter hasn't reached the point of divorce. Although divorce isn't something that will kill people, it's related to the collapse of two families. Ning Shu was expressionless. If we get a divorce, so be it. If we get a divorce, will the country be destroyed or the world be destroyed? Stop acting pitiful and aggrieved. It seems like it's not your turn to be aggrieved. You think that this matter isn't serious, but I'm making a fuss. Your family must be aggrieved, right? If you do something wrong and act like you're loyal to your family, then others should forgive you. If they don't forgive you, then I'm being unreasonable. Feeling wronged, right? Ning Shu's tears flowed out like a faucet. She hugged the child and said in a low voice, I beg you to divorce me. I just want the child to live. I don't even know if the child can grow up in this house. I don't want to pursue the matter of you betraying your family. I just want you to divorce me. I just want to live a good life. According to your mother's personality, if I can't give birth to a son, there will never be a day of peace in my life. I can't guarantee that I can give birth to a son. What if it's a girl? Do I have to give birth to both of them, or wait for the child to take shape and abort it if it's a girl? You are a magnanimous person. Can you divorce me? Wasn't she just crying pitifully and kneeling down at the drop of a hat? Everyone sympathized with the weak. Ning Shu hesitated for a moment. Should she kneel down? Thinking about it, wasn't it just kneeling down? Zhou Xiaoping had knelt down many times. Just take it as returning the favor to her. Ning Shu knelt down with a thud. She hugged the child and carried many bags. She really looked pitiful. The onlookers quietly surrounded them. Zhou Xiaoping staggered for a moment. Her expression was one of disbelief. Her lips trembled as she said, No, she won't care about what happens between us anymore. Since the incident happened until now, your mother hasn't apologized to the child. It's probably because the child doesn't have human rights. If I don't give birth to a son, it'll be my fault if your Zhou family's bloodline is cut off. I'll have to endure your mother's nagging. Why should I endure all this? Some women were willing to give birth to a boy even if they had to sacrifice their lives. This was especially so for older women. If the child was born, the uterus might be removed due to excessive bleeding. A uterus in exchange for a child. Was it worth it? Zhou Xiaoping's face was pale. Even her lips had turned pale. Then you can go back. However, I still hope that you can consider it carefully. Ning Shu stood up, carrying her bag and the child. Zhou Xiaoping helped her up, but Ning Shu avoided his hand. She said politely, Thank you. You should consider it carefully. I must get a divorce. If I don't want those old matters to be brought up in court, it'll make everyone look bad. Ning Shu left the neighborhood, hailed a car, and left the Zhou family's residence. Zhou Xiaoping returned home tiredly. Zhao Qiaohong said to Zhou Xiaoping, Hurry up and get a divorce. Otherwise, she'll take it to court. Anyway, she's determined to get a divorce. Zhou Xiaoping did not say a word. Zhou Xiaoping sighed and said to Zhou Xiaoping, Xiaoping, do you want to develop in another city? Zhao Qiaohong's hands could not reach that far. Naturally, she could not do anything about it. This matter was a natural contradiction that could not be mediated. They could only stay away from it and reduce the number of times they met each other. Even if Zhao Qiaohong kept talking, her daughter-in-law could not hear her. Zhou Xiaoping felt that this was a good idea. He felt that even if he divorced and married another woman, if he did not have a son, today's matter would still happen. Moreover, having a son or a daughter was a matter of probability. It was the man's fault, but he could not have a son. It was all the woman's fault. Zhao Qiaohong's eyes immediately turned red. You want to change cities to avoid me? I don't agree. My son is fine here. I insist that he leave home. Zhou Xiaoping was angry. Shut up. There might be two people in this family who are going to divorce. If they divorce, I'll divorce you too. Look at what you've done to your son. You're already old. Why do you care so much? I'm not even worried about the Zhou family's descendants. Why do you, surnamed Zhou, have to worry about that? Do you have nothing better to do? Zhao Qiaohong was so angry that she shed tears. Old thing, I've served you all my life. Now you want to divorce me. Do you want to find another woman? Is it the woman who dances with you? She runs outside every day to please you? Damn old man. You're old. Zhou Xiaoping was completely speechless. You're pestering endlessly. I'm pestering endlessly. I've seen the two of you hugging each other more than once. She's especially coquettish and sticks to you. Zhou Xiaoping, Zhao Qiaohong sneered. Even if you divorce me, you old fart, my son is still my son. Don't expect me to serve you. She still had to do what she had to do. She had worried so much for the old Zhou family, but these two old masters did not care at all and even blamed her. Zhou Xiaoping's head hurt. It was a mess. He could not figure it out. In the future, his child would grow up in such a family environment. It would also be a kind of harm. Moreover, the fact that he had been thrown away could not be hidden at all. Zhou Xiaoping could not guarantee that his wife would not tell the child everything. Divorce seemed to be a good idea. To watch the new chapter of Zue, please go to mobile address. Chapter 3894. His mother was like this and there was no way to change it. Just as Yin Ting said, why should she bear such grievances? Zhou Xiaoping started to think about divorce carefully. He had to admit that divorce seemed to be the only way to solve the problem. He couldn't possibly let the child change sex and become a boy. Another way was to let Yin Ting give birth to a boy. That would solve the problem. But his daughter would be very awkward at home. This was like an invisible bomb that would explode at any time. His daughter might even hate him. If they divorced, perhaps he would still be a good father. But Zhou Xiaoping wasn't willing to divorce just like that. He had to try his best to salvage the situation. After all, the original couple was different. And if they got married after that, Zhou Xiaoping felt that they would just be living together. They would just muddle along and live one day at a time. Thinking that Yin Ting was leaving him, Zhou Xiaoping felt very sad. He called Ning Shu and asked, what if we go to another city to develop our career? We'll be far away from this home. We'll only come back to visit during festivals. We will give them some money and take care of them when they are sick. Ning Shu said, the signal is bad. I can't hear anything you say. Have you thought about the divorce? Zhou Xiaoping was speechless. Why are you being so naughty? Zhou Xiaoping said, I have thought about it. We will divorce and the child will be yours. Ning Shu said, okay then. Let's arrange a time to get the divorce certificate. There is also the issue of child support. Zhou Xiaoping sighed. Wasn't the signal bad? Zhou Xiaoping said word by word, Ting Ting, I don't think I will get married again in this life. With Ting Ting as an example, finding another wife would also result in the same result. Unless he went for IVF, he could probably choose between a boy and a girl. The child had not been born yet, and no one knew that Zhao Qiaohong had such a problem. Ning Shu rolled his eyes. Whether you get married or not has nothing to do with me. Did he think that she should be touched by his gesture? If you get divorced, you will be a stranger. Whether you find someone else or die alone has nothing to do with me. Zhou Xiaoping sighed. It has nothing to do with you. Let's hang up. Ning Shu hung up the phone and said to the two elders of the Yin family, he agreed to the divorce. The child is mine. Mama Yin, that's it. She thought it would be troublesome. Ning Shu shrugged his shoulders and said, he's rational and can be considered a good person. Unfortunately, he can't live. There were so many good people in the world, but they couldn't all be together. Since you said that he is a good person, why do you want a divorce? What about his mother? Can she win against her son? Ning Shu said indifferently, since I said that he is a good person, Then he treats his parents and his wife the same. How could he fight with his parents for his wife? There is no such thing as a perfect way to live up to Tathagata and Qing Qing. After Zhao Qiaohong did such a thing as her son, Zhou Xiuping still had to get Zhao Qiaohong out. Actually, the client just had to suffer a little so that Zhou Xiuping could live up to his wife and parents. But in the plot, the client had to compromise and give birth to a child to start over. It was still the same. After knowing that her son was going to get a divorce, Zhao Qiaohong started to look for a wife for Zhou Xiuping. She immediately went to the marriage agency to register Zhou Xiuping. Zhao Qiaohong's requirements for a daughter-in-law were simple. She just had to be a little chubby. Girls nowadays were on a diet. If they lost all their weight, how could they have a son? They were too active. Zhou Xiuping and Ning Shu arranged a time to settle the divorce. Ning Shu tidied herself up and even put on light makeup. Her lips were red and her teeth were white. She looked very good. One look and you could tell that she was the kind of person who enjoyed eating. She didn't look like someone who was going to get a divorce at all. Instead, she felt like she had been reborn. Did she have to be like this? Ning Shu and Zhou Xiuping sat in a cafe to discuss child support. Zhou Xiuping said, "Give the child 1,000 yuan a month until he turns 18. 1,000 yuan was not a lot, but it was also not a lot. After all, a can of milk powder cost a few hundred yuan. Fortunately, the child drank milk. There were also other diapers and daily necessities, which cost a lot." Ning Shu frowned. 1,000 yuan a month. In the future, the child would have to go to school, so the expenses would be even higher. Zhou Xiuping said, "Is it too much pressure to raise a child alone? Why don't you get a divorce?" Ning Shu snorted. "Your mother did such a thing to the child. Shouldn't she be compensated?" Zhou Xiuping was speechless. Ning Shu said, "It's fine if you don't compensate. You can ask your mother to apologize to the child." "Let me think about it. I have to let the child be sensible before apologizing." Zhou Xiuping sighed. How could Zhao Qiaohong apologize? He asked, "How much do you want?" Ning Shu said, "You can give as much as you want. I'm not a picky person." Zhou Xiuping said, 1,500 yuan. "You know that I don't even have a job now. How can I give the child living expenses?" Ning Shu reluctantly accepted. The two of them went to the Civil Affairs Bureau to get a divorce. The red book was changed to a green one. Ning Shu always felt that the divorce certificate was a green one. It was a bit meaningful. It felt like he had been cuckolded and even issued a certificate to prove that he had been cuckolded. It was probably because many people who got divorced were cuckolded, so they issued a green book. This was really people-oriented. Ning Shu and Zhou Xiuping waved their hands. "Never see you again." Then, they went to settle their child's and their own household registration. She didn't intend to move her household registration back to her parents' home. The client had an older brother. It wasn't good to move it back. Otherwise, her sister-in-law would think that she was freeloading. She opened another household, but she didn't have a house. There was no place to stay for the time being. Zhou Xiuping had been waiting at the entrance of the Civil Affairs Bureau for Ning Shu to finish his business. He asked her, "Do you want to have dinner together?" Ning Shu waved his hand. "No need. Our daughter is waiting for dinner." "Good milk." Zhou Xiuping was silent. He watched as Ning Shu got into the car. He was in a daze. When Zhou Xiuping returned home, Zhao Qiaohong took out a stack of photos. They were all photos of girls from the marriage agency. These girls were carefully selected by Zhao Qiaohong. They all had good looks and bodies. Knowing the birthdays of these girls, Zhao Qiaohong even spent a sum of money to ask a fortune teller to predict which girls were destined to have sons. It could be said that she was crazy. Without her daughter-in-law restraining her, Zhao Qiaohong could be said to be free. With her daughter-in-law around, she didn't even dare to say that she had another child. She would get angry if she said it. Girls nowadays were so delicate. She couldn't even say it. Zhou Xiuping didn't even look at these photos. "I just got divorced less than 2 hours ago. I don't even have a job. I'll look for one first." If she wanted a son, she might as well be a surrogate. To view the new chapter of Zue, please go to mobile address. Chapter 3895. Translator, Endless Fantasy Translation Editor. Endless Fantasy Translation. If he knew about this, he would have done a surrogate pregnancy. He could have as many sons as he wanted. Actually, he could have done another surrogate pregnancy. But his daughter's matter was a problem. He could not solve it by having another child. He might as well get a divorce. As for whether he would have a family in the future, Zhou Xiaoping was too lazy to do so. Zhou Xiaoping started to apply for a new job. It was not easy to find a job. Also, the economy was not doing well. It was easy to leave but hard to get back in. Zhao Qiaohong pulled her son. Anyway, you are not working now. Go and look for someone. If you go to work, you won't have time. You will definitely use work to brush me off. Hurry up. Zhou Xiaoping took his bag and went out. I am going for an interview today. If you want to look for someone, you can go. Why should I go? I am not the one getting married. What an enemy. Zhou Xiaoping went downstairs and saw someone. When he saw this person, Zhou Xiaoping was so shocked that his hair stood on end. Why you here? Zhou Xiaoping did not expect Yao Lin to come to his house. How did she know his address? Did she really want to move to a different city? What was wrong with these people? One after another, they were all against him. He couldn't keep the people he wanted to keep, and the people he didn't want to see kept coming. Yao Lin was speechless. Why did her face turn black the moment she saw him? Yao Lin said, I am here to see you. I asked someone in the company about your location. They said that they have something for you and I am here to give it to you. If you have anything, you can just call me. You don't have to send it to my house. Why was she so persistent? She had already left the company and he didn't expect her to come to his house. What was going on? Yao Lin bit her lips and said, Actually, I don't have anything. I asked the company for your address. Zhou Xiaoping was speechless. What do you want? Yao Lin couldn't help but say, Do you have to treat me like this? I didn't do anything to you. Zhou Xiaoping, if you have something to say, say it. Yao Lin said, I quit. Zhou Xiaoping suddenly had a bad premonition in his heart, and a chill spread from his spine to the back of his head. Yao Lin continued, Which company are you going to? I'll go with you. Sure enough, Zhou Xiaoping said impatiently, Why are you following me? I resigned to get rid of you, but you still followed me. Big sister, the road is open to the sky. Let's go our separate ways. Zhou Xiaoping was really convinced. What was this girl trying to do? She couldn't shake him off no matter how hard she tried. Did he know that she was going to get a divorce, so he chased after her? Even if they were divorced, Zhou Xiaoping did not plan to have any relationship with Yao Lin. It was because the things that they had experienced were not good. Yao Lin felt wronged. What are you doing? I came all the way here to see you, and this is your attitude? Zhou Xiaoping, did I ask you to come here? You came here on your own accord. At this moment, he was blaming her for having a bad attitude. If you can stay far away, that would be even better. Yao Lin still wanted to say something, but Zhao Qiaohong came out of the corridor. When she saw her son, she quickly chased after him and said, Just now, the marriage agency called. There's a girl who's free. Come with me. Yao Lin looked at Zhou Xiaoping with some surprise and asked, You're going on a blind date? She remembered that Vice President Zhou was married and had a child not long ago. He gave candy and red eggs to everyone in the company. Why was he going on a blind date now? A thought popped up in Yao Lin's mind, causing her heart to race. You're divorced. Zhou Xiaoping saw Yao Lin's expression and felt that something was wrong. He directly said to Zhao Qiaohong, I'm not free. I don't want to go on a blind date. Zhao Qiaohong was disappointed. She looked at Yao Lin from head to toe and focused on Yao Lin's butt and pelvis. A good man had hair all over his body while a good woman had fat. A big pelvis meant that it was easier to give birth. It's okay. Zhao Qiaohong looked at Yao Lin like she was looking at a pig. She felt that it was barely passable. Son, who is this? She came to look for her son. Their relationship must not be shallow. Yao Lin shouted to Zhao Qiaohong, Hello, auntie. She was very obedient. Zhou Xiaoping said coldly, It's a former colleague of mine. I left something in the company and she came to bring it to me. He said to Yao Lin, The things have been delivered. Are you still not leaving? Yao Lin was helpless. She did not dare to disobey Zhou Xiuping. Even if Zhou Xiuping was no longer a leader, he had accumulated power for a long time. She was still a little afraid. Zhao Qiaohong had a kind smile on her face and said to Yao Lin, "Go up and have a cup of tea. It's not easy for you to come here." Yao Lin looked at Zhou Xiuping. She was a little tempted, but she was worried that Zhou Xiuping would be unhappy. Zhao Qiaohong complained to her son, "She came to deliver things to you, but you didn't even give her a sip of water. Don't you know how to be polite? Don't you have an interview? You go." As long as it was a girl of the right age, she could be considered as a candidate. They could be her daughter-in-law. She would not let them go. No one else in the company came to deliver things. She was the only one who came. She must have some thoughts about her son. Therefore, she first wanted to know what kind of person she was. She wanted to know how she felt about her son. Most importantly, she wanted to know if she had any thoughts of having children. Nowadays, many young people felt that having children was a burden. They wanted to live their lives freely and did not care about their offspring. If everyone had such thoughts, then wouldn't the human race become extinct? How could she go for an interview? The interview was just an excuse. How could she let Yao Lin be alone with her mother? Who knew what Yao Lin would say? Yao Lin was a little nervous. She felt like an ugly daughter-in-law meeting her parents-in-law. She helplessly followed Zhao Qiaohong into the room. Zhao Qiaohong was very attentive to Yao Lin. She poured tea for her and cut a plate of fruit for her. Yao Lin was flattered and a little scared. Zhou Xiuping watched Zhao Qiaohong's performance expressionlessly. Yao Lin felt like she was sitting on pins and needles. She answered Zhao Qiaohong's questions. However, Yao Lin still had some brains and knew that she couldn't tell Zhou Xiuping about that matter. Otherwise, Zhou Xiuping's parents would think that she was an indecent girl. To be honest, she was very serious. She just stayed in the same room with Zhou Xiuping. She did not know why she was so hot-headed and did such a thing. In the end, she was arrested by the police. If she succeeded, perhaps Zhou Xiuping would not treat her like this. In the end, Yao Lin found an excuse and said that she was busy with the company and had to leave. Zhao Qiaohong urged her son, "Go and send her off." She was quite satisfied with this girl. She was obedient and had a good temper. The key was that she was not angry when her son was so cold to her. Her eyes would glance at her son from time to time. End of chapter. To watch the new chapter of Zue, please go to mobile address. Chapter 3896. Translator, Endless Fantasy Translation Editor, Endless Fantasy Translation. It was obvious that this girl was interested in her son, but her son ignored her. She really didn't know how lucky she was. Nowadays, if you treated her coldly, she would do whatever she wanted. It was the ex-daughter-in-law who had a bad temper that was unbearable. Zhou Xiuping sent Yao Lin out. He hailed a car and was about to shove Yao Lin into it. He didn't even look at Yao Lin's hesitant expression. She didn't want to get into the car at all. Zhou Xiuping shoved her into the car and slammed the door. It was simple and rough. Yao Lin, who was shoved into the car, opened the door again. She got out of the car and said to Zhou Xiuping, "Vice President Zhou, I have something to tell you." "Zhou Xiuping, I don't want to hear it." Yao Lin looked around and pointed at the park. "Let's go there and talk." Yao Lin looked at Zhou Xiuping with pleading eyes. "Ever since the accident, we haven't talked properly." Zhou Xiuping nodded coldly. He should make things clear, in case she kept harboring unrealistic thoughts. Zhou Xiuping and Yao Lin were talking in the park. Ning Shu knocked on Zhou Xiuping's house. Zhao Qiaohong opened the door. Zhao Qiaohong saw Ning Shu and her face changed instantly. She pulled a long face. "What are you doing here? Aren't you divorced? Why are you still here?" "Ning Shu, I didn't want to come either, but there are some things I haven't taken." "What are you not taking? There's nothing for you here." Since they were divorced, Zhao Qiaohong didn't want to pretend to be intimate with her ex-daughter-in-law anymore. Some people are asking for too much. A girl dares to ask for 1,500 yuan a month. 1 year was 18,000 yuan. 10 years was 18,000 yuan. Why did she have to take out more than 100,000 yuan of her family's money? If she had the ability, she should raise the child herself. She wanted money and a divorce. She had never seen such a thick-skinned person. Ning Shu ignored Zhao Qiaohong and went straight into the house to pack his things. He saw a fruit plate and a steaming cup on the coffee table. She wondered what kind of person could make Zhao Qiaohong serve tea and cut fruits for him. Zhou Xiuping had found someone to marry. Based on the story, he seemed to be married to the girl because the girl was pregnant. The girl wasn't based on translation. She didn't know if she could continue her relationship with Zhou Xiuping. That was time. And Zhou Xiuping was now. Time was money. And Zhao Xiuping. And Zhou Xiuping was translation was. Time was translation. Was time was translation was time? Was translation? With a daughter-in-law, there would be grandchildren. It was probably someone who had come knocking on her door. Turning back time was easier to manipulate, but the future was harder to manipulate because there were too many possibilities in the future. Zhao Qiaohong followed behind Ning Shu, afraid that Ning Shu would take away the things in the house. She was wary of him. Ning Shu only wanted to take a few pieces of clothes. Some winter clothes were bigger, so he didn't take them when he left. But under Zhao Qiaohong's watchful eyes, Ning Shu put away some miscellaneous items, such as toothpaste and toothbrush, and the shampoo she used for her own hair. Zhao Qiaohong's face darkened. You actually want to take these things away? You're taking advantage of me. Ning Shu said, Isn't this toothbrush mine? Why can't I take it? He took it self-righteously. Zhao Qiaohong was speechless. Ning Shu walked in circles in the house. He went to the bathroom and squatted down to look at the sofa. Zhao Qiaohong looked at Ning Shu with a black face. What are you doing? I dropped something, so I'm looking around. Ning Shu said as he stuffed a blood-like rune under the sofa. Zhao Qiaohong pursed her lips. What did he drop? He was looking for trouble. Ning Shu stuffed the clothes into the suitcase, which was filled to the brim. Ning Shu was puzzled. How could there be so many clothes? When she went out to look for clothes in the closet, she felt that there were no clothes to wear. She was complaining in her heart about how the client had so few clothes. In the end, there were so many clothes. She felt like she had seen a ghost. These clothes appeared out of thin air. Ning Shu pulled the big and small bags out of the house. Zhao Qiaohong stood at the door and said to Ning Shu, You and Xiuping are divorced now, so don't come looking for him. Don't come looking for him whenever you run into trouble. Women all want someone to rely on. You're the one who got divorced, but now you're looking for Zhou Xiuping. You're taking all the benefits. He's going to get married soon. If you're a decent woman, you won't do things that destroy other people's families. Ning Shu was about to roll her eyes. If I run into trouble, I have mom and dad. I can solve it myself. I don't want to come looking for him. You should remind your son that he has visitation rights with my daughter. Don't come looking for nothing and disturb our lives. Zhao Qiaohong, don't worry, he's going to get married soon. He's going to have a child soon. Why would he care about another child? Of course, Ning Shu knew what Zhao Qiaohong was implying. Puzzled, she asked, Do you hate that child that much? What did that child do wrong? Even if she didn't love or like the child, she still did such a thing. It wasn't as if she couldn't afford to raise a child. Why would she throw the child away, strangle her, or drown her? Zhao Qiaohong was still a little guilty. I don't know what you're talking about. I just did such a thing in a moment of impulse. Speaking of which, you're also at fault. You were the one who said you didn't want to have another child. There's only one girl. Without her, there'll be another one. Ning Shu, you're too extreme. Even if you said you didn't want to have another child, it's still a knife wound. It's tiring and painful. After saying such things, you want to throw the child away. Even if Zhao Qiaohong said it in front of the person who entrusted her, she still wanted to have another child. How good would it be to have both a son and a daughter? She insisted on throwing the child away. Her brain circuit was a little different. Zhao Qiaohong didn't want to talk about this at all. You've got your things, right? Take them and you can leave. Ning Shu said word by word. She's a child who can't move, can't speak, and can't save herself. You abandoned her in such a place. Are you so cruel? People like you should also have a taste of being abandoned. Being thrown into the wilderness, deep in the mountains and forests, unable to ask for help, with no way to heaven and no door to hell. Zhao Qiaohong's expression became incomparably ugly. You're cursing me. I do wish that I could curse you, but curses are just useless curses. That would be strange. Curses were a kind of power. The more powerful the person, the more powerful the curse. This world was an ordinary and scientific world. There were no strange things. End of this chapter. To view the new chapter of Zue, please go to mobile address. Chapter 3897. Translator, Endless Fantasy Translation Editor. Endless Fantasy Translation. Even if she had done some homework, it probably wouldn't work. Because the power would be very little, and there might not even be a trace left. Because the heavenly Tao of this world didn't allow such power. At most, it would make Zhao Qiaohong have some nightmares. After all, it was a curse. It was very possible that she couldn't sleep well and had a nervous breakdown. The irresistible thing in this world was that she couldn't sleep even if she wanted to. She would collapse at any moment. Zhao Qiaohong hated this ex-daughter-in-law in her heart. She slammed the door shut. Ning Shu walked out of the residential area with big and small bags. At the entrance of the residential area, she met Zhou Xiaoping and the employee. Ning Shu had seen this staff before, and it was a naked staff. Zhou Xiaoping was stunned when he saw Ning Shu. He quickly asked, "Why didn't you call me if you were coming back?" Ning Shu said, "After I got the divorce certificate, I deleted your number." Zhou Xiaoping was speechless. Why was he speaking the truth? It was heartbreaking. Ning Shu looked at the two of them and asked, "Are you two getting married?" Zhou Xiaoping shook his head. "No." Yao Lin looked at Zhou Xiaoping's ex-wife. She was a beautiful woman with regular features. She asked embarrassedly, "Do you know me?" She asked her to marry Zhou Xiaoping as soon as they met. She felt that the other party knew her. Ning Shu nodded. "I know you. I saw a picture of you two naked at the police station." That was a photo for evidence. Yao Lin's face instantly turned red. Even Zhou Xiaoping was a little uncomfortable. He explained, "She came to give me something." Who knew what it was for? Ning Shu waved his hand. "No need to explain to me. We have nothing to do with each other anymore. Goodbye. I wish you two a long and happy marriage." Ning Shu's words were very sincere, which made Zhou Xiaoping's heart incomparably bitter. It was as if he had eaten Chinese gold thread. His tongue was numb and he couldn't speak. How could she bless him like this? Zhou Xiaoping realized that there was no relationship between them. There was no relationship at all. It was suffocating. Yao Lin was so ashamed that she wanted to find a hole to hide in. She saw her photo, and she was naked. What's the difference between that and catching someone in bed? Ning Shu hailed a car and was about to stuff his luggage into the trunk when Zhou Xiaoping said, "I'll drive you. I'll also visit Uncle and Auntie Yu on the way." Yao Lin, who was at the side, felt extremely stifled and depressed. The difference was too great. They were both women, but she was forced into the car, while Zhou Xiaoping had to take the initiative to send her off. Although she understood that the two of them couldn't be compared, she still felt a little sour in her heart. She couldn't help but feel sour and uncomfortable. Ning Shu rejected, "No need. My parents don't need you to visit them. They'll get angry when they see you. They're old, and they can't bear the emotional fluctuations." Zhou Xiaoping watched as Ning Shu got into the car, until he couldn't see him around the corner. His eyes were in a daze, and it was obvious that his thoughts had gone blank. "What are you looking at? He's already far away," Yao Lin said with a hint of jealousy. She wanted to control herself, but she couldn't. Zhou Xiaoping came back to his senses and looked at her. "Why aren't you leaving yet?" "Yao Lin, why aren't you sending me off?" Damn it. No matter how unwilling Yao Lin was, she knew that there was a gap between her and Zhou Xiaoping's ex-wife. She hailed a car and said to Zhou Xiaoping before getting into the car, "Think about what I said to you carefully. I'm sincere to you." In the park, Yao Lin analyzed her heart to Zhou Xiaoping. She felt that she liked Zhou Xiaoping and wanted to be with Zhou Xiaoping. She even quit her job so that Zhou Xiaoping could enter a new company. because when she saw Zhou Xiuping, she felt at ease. She felt that there was nothing that Zhou Xiuping couldn't do. In terms of work, Zhou Xiuping was indeed a talented person. The way he worked seriously exuded an indescribable charm. Zhou Xiuping, I'll leave you. After closing the car door, Zhou Xiuping turned around and left. He didn't even watch Yao Lin leave. Yao Lin in the car. The driver asked, "Are you leaving or not?" Yao Lin said in a bad mood, "Of course I'm leaving. Otherwise, why would I take your car?" The driver, when Zhou Xiuping returned home, Zhao Qiaohong nagged him about how stingy his ex-wife was. Zhou Xiuping was getting impatient. "Don't tell me these things. I don't want to hear them." "It's good that you don't want to hear them. Look at the things she did. They're not presentable at all." Zhao Qiaohong thought that her son was tired of Yin Ting, so she shut up. However, after talking for a while, Zhao Qiaohong felt a little tired. She took a sip of water and reminded Zhou Xiuping not to forget about the blind date. She originally wanted to ask her son about his colleagues, but she felt very tired. Her eyelids were heavy, so she lay down and fell asleep. In her sleep, Zhao Qiaohong felt that she had come to a remote place. It seemed to be surrounded by mountains. She could faintly hear the roars of birds and beasts. It was fine during the day, but at night, the surroundings were pitch black. It was very unsettling. In the darkness, there were many green eyes staring at her. Zhao Qiaohong fled with all her might, but there were a lot of things chasing after her. They let out strange and terrifying cries, one after another, very ominous. Especially the night owls. The whole forest was filled with such sounds. In her sleep, Zhao Qiaohong ran with all her might. She was very unsteady. She was sweating all over and her breathing was rapid. The darkness was like a monster's mouth swallowing her. She couldn't distinguish between things and couldn't see at all. Her feet were staggering, and she even stepped on something slippery. Zhao Qiaohong didn't dare to think too deeply about what she stepped on because the slippery feeling was very similar to that of an animal. She couldn't feel the direction and didn't know where to go. Seeing that the things behind her were getting closer and closer like ghosts, Zhao Qiaohong desperately called for help. However, she felt as if something was blocking her throat. She couldn't make a sound at all. Help, help. She knew that this was a dream. She hoped that she could wake up from this terrible dream soon. "Mom, wake up. Wake up quickly." Zhou Xiuping shook the struggling Zhao Qiaohong. Her whole body was tense. She kicked and shrank her feet. Moreover, she kept screaming. She was obviously having a nightmare. Zhao Qiaohong opened her eyes with difficulty. Seeing her son's anxious face, she finally breathed a sigh of relief and wiped the cold sweat on her face. Hugging Zhou Xiuping, she said while trembling, "I had a very terrible dream. It scared me to death. It was all because of that bitch Yin Ting. She cursed her for no reason. In the end, she really had a dream. Her head was so painful that it was about to explode. Her heart was pounding, and even her eardrums were throbbing. Her whole body was weak." However, Zhao Qiaohong was stunned. She found that she seemed to be in the depths of the wild forest. End of chapter. To view the new chapter of Zue, please go to immobile address. Chapter 3899. This illness came very suddenly, and it seemed to have acted up in her sleep. When Zhao Qiaohong woke up, it was as if she was immersed in a dream and had not woken up yet. Zhou Xiuping did not dare to tell Zhou Shitu that Zhao Qiaohong was in the bathroom in the living room. If Zhao Qiaohong could not distinguish between reality and dreams, her body would not be able to take it. Zhou Xiuping wiped his face tiredly. He felt that this year was really unlucky. Things happened one after another. He was really bald. Zhou Shitu frowned and complained, "It's good to let you be sick so that she doesn't have to worry all the time." When one was sick, one would know that one's health was important. Zhou Xiuping was speechless. What a fake couple. He pushed the sleeping Zhao Qiaohong to do all kinds of tests. He was dizzy from running. After a round of tests, there did not seem to be any problems. There were no major problems. At most, it could be said that she was a little nervous or that there was insufficient blood supply to the brain. The real neurological abnormalities were not detected. He just needed to see Zhao Qiaohong's condition after she woke up. She was hooked up to some infusion to protect the blood vessels in her brain. Zhao Qiaohong slept until the sky turned dark. Zhou Xiuping asked his father to go home. His father was old and could not stay in the hospital. If there was any news, he would inform Zhou Shitu. Zhou Shitu left quite quickly. Obviously, he was a little annoyed with his wife during this period of time. He left just like that? She probably had a very good mentality. If she was sick, she would be fine as long as she did not die. She would not have so much energy to jump around. Zhou Xiuping felt that his old father was a little relieved too early. According to his mother's current behavior, if she was really sick, it would be chaos. Moreover, the location of her excretion was completely uncertain. She could go to the bathroom anywhere, but she would not go to the bathroom. She might step in feces when she entered the house. This was a very scary thing. Zhou Xiuping did not say anything. He would hide it for as long as he could. If only his wife could be by his side at this time and give him some comfort and support. After all, a person's energy was limited, and they would feel tired. Zhao Qiaohong slept until the next morning. When she woke up, her face was extremely tired and her head was very big. Zhou Xiuping quickly stood up and asked, "Mom, can you see where we are?" Zhao Qiaohong looked around and asked, "Why am I in the hospital? Son, my head hurts. Let the doctor give me some medicine. It hurts." In her sleep, she experienced another great escape. This time, it seemed that she was not in the deep mountains or forests, but in the dark city sewers. Inside, there was a foul stench and there were squeaking rats. There were even floating human bones. The entire underground sewer was filled with the sound of his footsteps, which echoed endlessly. It was as if he was the only one in the entire world. He was terrified, helpless, and terrified. When he finally woke up, he felt as if he had run 10 kilometers. His head hurt, his eyes hurt, and his heart was beating very fast. It was so uncomfortable that he felt like he was going to die. Seeing that his mother's mind was clear and there were no more hallucinations, he was really relieved. The impact of excreting in the living room was really too great. Now that there were no more symptoms, it was worth celebrating. Zhou Xiuping's hanging heart was also relieved. He quickly called out and prescribed some medicine for his mother. Then he went out to get some food for Zhao Qiaohong. Then he called his father and told him that his mother was fine. She just had to be hospitalized for a while. He did not know if Zhao Qiaohong would have hallucinations in the future. Zhou Xiuping also breathed a sigh of relief. Although he said that she would recover from her illness, he still hoped that she would be well. If something happened, it would be difficult for him to serve her at such an old age. He had a daughter who was not close to Zhao Qiaohong at all. She was only polite on the surface. During the holidays, she would send some things over, but she would leave after a while. She would leave without even eating. This superficial affection was for his father's sake. It was rare to be able to hurt someone to this extent. Zhou Xiuping thought about it and also informed his sister. To be honest, the current Zhou Xiuping was a little embarrassed to see his sister. His mother's differential treatment hurt his sister, and he could not blame his sister for being cold to his mother because he was the beneficiary. If he continued to blabber, he would be the kind of person who would take advantage of others. When his sister heard that his mother was sick, she said that she would visit her when she was free. This reaction was expected. Carrying breakfast back to the ward, Zhao Qiaohong was too tired and did not have much of an appetite. She put it down after 2 mouthfuls. Zhou Xiuping said, "Mom, eat more. Only then will you have strength." Zhao Qiaohong shook her head. "I don't want to eat. I have a headache and want to vomit. I feel uncomfortable after eating." "It's all Yin Ting's fault that I became like this," Zhao Qiaohong said angrily. However, she did not have much strength and her voice was soft. Zhou Xiuping was stunned. What does this have to do with her? They were already divorced, and Yin Ting had nothing to do with their family. It was not right to blame Yin Ting for being sick. How is it not related? Cough, cough. Zhao Qiaohong said agitatedly. "She cursed me to be abandoned. That's why I have nightmares every day." Zhou Xiuping was helpless. He did not refute his mother. It did not make sense. This was simply nonsense. If curses were useful, there would be so many people in this world who could only curse incompetence. On the contrary, Zhou Xiuping felt that this matter had become his mother's sore point. She probably felt guilty, but she insisted on it. Moreover, it caused their divorce. Zhou Xiuping said, "Mom, have you ever thought that this matter was really your fault? How could you abandon the child? Isn't this matter already over? What's the point of bringing it up? That's one thing. I became like this because she cursed me." Zhao Qiaohong said. Zhou Xiuping was silent. He felt guilty or something. It was probably his illusion. "Mom, have you ever thought that if you get Yin Ting's forgiveness, your illness might be cured? This was a psychological illness. You want me to beg her? I would rather die than beg her. Dream on." Zhao Qiaohong said firmly. Her attitude was very firm. She was no longer her daughter-in-law. Why should she lower her head to her? She would lower her head in the future. She still wanted to marry a better daughter-in-law for her son. It would be best if she could give birth to a son. She would anger her to death and make her regret. Zhou Xiuping sighed. He did not know where his mother got her confidence from. It was obvious who was right and who was wrong in this matter. Perhaps it was because he got his mother out of the police station and did not get the punishment she deserved that she became like this. Zhou Xiuping's head also hurt. He encountered such a thing when he was looking for a job. He had to temporarily put down his work. He did not know how long it would be delayed. To watch the new chapter of Zue, please go to mobile address. Chapter 3900. Zhao Qiaohong still needed to be hospitalized for observation. Although she looked fine now, she kept having nightmares. Zhao Qiaohong's mind seemed to be normal and there were no hallucinations. However, she would have nightmares whenever she fell asleep. Whenever she had nightmares, she would sweat profusely and her muscles would spasm. It would be so serious that her entire body would twitch and her hands and feet would move. She could only use sedatives to relieve it, but this wasn't a long-term solution. She couldn't rely on drugs to maintain it. Moreover, sedatives were useless if she took too much. The dosage was getting higher and higher. Would she not be able to sleep without medicine in the future? Every time she woke up, Zhao Qiaohong was extremely tired. It was as if she had run a marathon. The more she slept, the more tired she became. Once a person lost sleep, they would easily become irritable and anxious. Without rest, the body would break down. The doctor was a little puzzled about this situation. Her body was still considered healthy, but why couldn't she sleep well? If this continued, her body would collapse soon. Humans weren't machines. Even machines would have problems if they weren't maintained. Therefore, they could only start from the psychological aspect. The doctor found Zhou Xiuping and asked, "Did something terrible happen recently that traumatized your mother?" Psychological trauma? To be honest, Zhao Qiaohong didn't look like she was traumatized at all. He was divorced, and she was actively arranging blind dates for him. Was this the sign of a traumatized person? Zhou Xiuping said, "Something did happen, but I don't think it affected her that much." "It's not that big. You're thinking too much. You don't think it's a big deal, but for some people it's an insurmountable obstacle. Try to help her. She won't have nightmares after her psychological problems are solved. Her body needs rest. Now that we have sedatives, they can't solve the problem," the doctor instructed Zhou Xiuping. Zhou Xiuping nodded to show that he understood. Could it be that his mother really felt guilty about throwing away the child, but was actually feeling guilty despite her stubbornness? Otherwise, why would she have nightmares? Zhou Xiuping took out his mobile phone and wanted to call his ex-wife. Thinking that the other party had blocked him, he sighed. Walking into the ward, he saw Zhao Qiaohong's face was dark and gloomy. The dark circles under her eyes were very heavy. She had not slept well for a few days, so she looked so haggard. Zhou Xiuping sat beside her and asked, "Mom, how do you feel?" Zhao Qiaohong said weakly, "I feel tired. I don't even dare to sleep. Once I sleep, I have nightmares." Moreover, she was very tired. Therefore, Zhao Qiaohong decided to stay up all night and not sleep. She thought to herself, "If I don't sleep, how can I have nightmares?" Zhou Xiaoping wanted to say something but stopped. He organized his words and said, "Mom, Yin Ting is coming to see you." When Zhao Qiaohong heard Yin Ting's name, her emotions fluctuated greatly. She shouted, "Tell her to scram. I don't want her to come and see me." Scram, scram. Zhou Xiaoping was speechless. Was this hatred born from guilt? Or was there no such thing as guilt in the first place? She did not realize that she had done something wrong. She did not want to admit that this was retribution, but things were so coincidental. However, this matter was definitely a knot in her heart. Originally, Zhou Xiaoping wanted Zhao Qiaohong to apologize to Yin Ting. This way, the psychological burden would be reduced and she would not have nightmares all night. But just now, she had such a big reaction when he was just testing her. It was obvious that it was absolutely impossible for her to apologize to Yin Ting. Such a big reaction also showed that this matter was in Zhao Qiaohong's heart. After all, a large part of the reason why he and Yin Ting divorced was because of Zhao Qiaohong. Even if Zhao Qiaohong did not feel that it was wrong for her to abandon the child, how could she not feel when her son's marriage broke down and he became a bachelor? That was why she was even more enthusiastic about matchmaking. Zhou Xiaoping did not mention the apology for the time being. It was very difficult to make Zhao Qiaohong apologize. It was better to treat her illness first. Who knew she might be cured? Zhou Xiaoping was also hoping for a fluke in his heart. He was also a little afraid that the two of them would meet. It would definitely be a volcanic eruption that would shake the world. Who knew what new accident would happen? Recently, his resistance to attacks had been getting lower and lower. He did not want anything to happen at all. Zhao Qiaohong stayed up late at night. She was really too tired from sleeping. When she woke up, she had a headache and her muscles hurt all over. She was completely useless. She might as well not sleep. She stared at the ceiling with her eyes wide open. In the dead of the night, the person next to her was sleeping soundly. She was the only one awake. It was so torturous. She wanted to close her eyes and sleep, but once she slept, she would have nightmares. Zhao Qiaohong would rather endure it. She tossed and turned, and the time was very difficult to pass. It was not easy to wait until dawn. She was no longer sleepy, but when she woke up, she felt like she was floating. Her head was heavy and her feet were light. Her heart was also beating very fast. She felt like she was going to die in minutes. Zhou Xiaoping came to the hospital early in the morning. When he saw her pale face, he was shocked and asked, "You're like this. Your condition is serious." Zhao Qiaohong's tongue was numb and her heart was beating wildly. "I didn't sleep all night." Zhou Xiaoping, was she crazy? Not sleeping and staying up all night to cultivate immortality? Was she going to become immortal? Young people could die suddenly if they stayed up all night. How old was Zhao Qiaohong? She actually had to stay up all night. However, he could understand why she was unwilling to sleep. "I'll get the doctor to prescribe some medicine for you. You can't not sleep. You didn't sleep all night and your face is so pale." Zhao Qiaohong nodded weakly. The food she ate was tasteless. It was like chewing wax. Her tongue could not taste anything. She had no appetite at all. The doctor increased the dosage of the medicine. Zhao Qiaohong ate it and fell asleep. However, she did not sleep well. It was obvious that she was still dreaming. When she woke up, her face was still very pale. Zhou Xiaoping felt that there was no way to go on like this. For Zhao Qiaohong, he had to contact his ex-wife. He went to the corridor to make a call. However, he could not get through. Her phone was busy and could not be connected. It was obvious that she had really blacklisted him. He thought that she was just saying it. She had really blacklisted him. It was as if she had completely chased him out of her life. Zhou Xiaoping went to his father-in-law's house. In the corridor, he was hesitating whether he should press the doorbell. The door suddenly opened. It was Yin Ting pushing the baby in the stroller. It seemed like she was pushing the child out to get some sun. Ning Shu saw Zhou Xiaoping and asked calmly, "What are you doing here?" Zhou Xiaoping helped Ning Shu push the stroller into the elevator. He looked at the child. The child had opened up. She was fair and tender. She was even cute. When he saw his daughter, Zhou Xiaoping's heart overflowed with fatherly love. He said seriously, "You raised the child very well. Ning Shu glanced at him. This is my child. Of course I raised her well. After exiting the elevator, Ning Shu pushed the child into the pavilion. To watch the new chapter of Zue, please go to mobile address. Chapter 3901. Ning Shu was waiting for Zhou Xiuping to speak. You don't visit a temple without a cause. Ning Shu guessed in his heart, but it wasn't what he guessed. He still had to wait for Zhou Xiuping to speak. Zhou Xiuping looked at his daughter for a while before saying to Ning Shu, "My mother's condition isn't very good." "Oh, what's wrong?" "She's fine when I went to get something." "Why is she not good?" Ning Shu said indifferently, his expression saying that he wasn't interested. "Zhou Xiuping, I have something to ask of you, and I'm shamelessly begging you." Ning Shu scoffed. "Since you know that your request is shameless, don't mention it." Zhou Xiuping was gradually getting used to Ning Shu's sharp tongue now. He continued, "She has nightmares every night and can't sleep well. She's already in the hospital, but her condition is still not good. The doctor said that it's a psychological problem." Ning Shu said, "Oh, what does that have to do with me?" He thought that it wouldn't have any effect, but it seemed that it did. It was good that it could make her unable to sleep well. As for the nightmares, they were scarier dreams. That meant that her power was greatly weakened. If her power wasn't restricted, Zhao Qiaohong would fall into an illusion and be tortured until her mind was torn apart. Now, it was just a dream that caused her to have some inner demons. Zhou Xiuping said, "Yin Ting, I beg you to go and see her. Tell her that you've forgiven her. Then she won't have such a big psychological burden." Ning Shu looked at Zhou Xiuping indifferently and didn't say anything. Go and tell Zhao Qiaohong that I've forgiven her? Did she really look that cheap? He even had to go and say it to her. She might not even accept it. Zhou Xiuping's face turned red from Ning Shu's stare. He knew that his request was too much and shameless, but Zhao Qiaohong's condition didn't allow him to put on airs and maintain his dignity. Since he had said such words, he probably would not have the chance to continue his relationship with Yin Ting in this lifetime. His request was too much. The person who was hurt didn't even get an apology. Instead, they had to take the initiative to say that they were forgiven. Of these two people, Zhao Qiaohong would never lower her head, but her current appearance made people angry and pitiful. Ning Shu had met so many shameless people that he was able to remain calm. His heart didn't waver, and he even wanted to laugh. "Ning Shu, I'm not free. I'm not going." The rejection was expected. In fact, Zhou Xiuping was so embarrassed that his back was sweating. He couldn't sit still and felt uncomfortable all over. Ning Shu thought for a moment and said, "Have you ever thought that your mother's situation is because she didn't get the punishment she deserved? She did something wrong and didn't get punished. In fact, she feels uneasy. It's like a sharp sword hanging over her head. If you let her stay in the police station for a few days and accept the punishment, she'll feel more at ease and her heart will be better. Especially when she knows that your petition is fake, and she will face the fact that she will be sent to the police station again. She will be even more worried." Ning Shu was like a devil tempting people. "Think about it, don't you think so? She feels that I have something on her, so she will accept the punishment. My so-called weakness doesn't exist anymore, and it can't threaten her. Naturally, she won't be afraid of anything." Zhou Xiuping felt that something was strange. Who would send someone to the police station for treatment? But he had to admit that what he said made sense. Wasn't there a saying that if you want to kill or cut, just give me a quick answer? The longer you delay, the heavier the psychological burden and the more torturous it will be. Fight poison with poison? Zhou Xiuping said, "You still want to send her to the police station." She had never forgotten this matter. Ning Shu spread his hands. "I'm just saying. I don't have the mood to pay attention to strangers. And you, don't come to me if there's nothing. I'm not happy to see you." Zhou Xiuping looked at her daughter and asked, "What's the child's name?" She didn't have a name. When the client came back, the child would naturally have a name. She didn't want to give the child a name. It would hurt her brain. Ning Shu raised his chin slightly. "I'm not telling you." Zhou Xiuping didn't have the energy to talk to Ning Shu. He would know the name sooner or later. Zhou Xiuping left. Looking at her back, it was really bleak. Very good. I want you to have nightmares. I don't want you to be afraid, but I want you to have a nervous breakdown and be dispirited. Zhou Xiaoping went back and thought about the feasibility of sending Zhao Qiaohong to the police station again. Maybe if Zhao Qiaohong was really punished, there would be no psychological burden. But then he rejected this plan in his heart. With Zhao Qiaohong's physical condition, if she was sent to the police station, there would be no doctors and nurses to take care of her at any time. Without medicine, if there was mental stimulation, it might even make the situation worse. How could he be brainwashed by Yin Ting? His mind was always filled with what she said. She was clearly gloating when she said those words, but the reason behind it was the same. Zhou Xiaoping, who couldn't make up his mind, told his father about this idea. When Zhou Xiaoping heard this, he was stunned. After living for so long, there was still such a thing. It was simply amazing. He rejected this plan immediately. He really didn't want his wife to be sent to the police station. It wouldn't be good if it didn't spread out. It was not easy for her to get out of the police station, but she had to go back again. It was simply a miracle. Zhou Xiaoping sighed and ran to ask the doctor. After the doctor understood the cause and effect, his face was full of information. After he said that he wanted to send the patient to the police station, he was completely silent. This plan was really tricky, but it might be able to solve the patient's psychological problem, but it would also stimulate the patient. The patient was now in a vulnerable state. Once stimulated, the string would be completely broken. The risk was too big. Zhou Xiaoping slapped his head. Why did water enter his brain? Why did he have to listen to her? Yinting was really bad now. She made him so conflicted. She was doing it on purpose. But this idea was like a tree root in his heart. It was getting deeper and deeper. If Zhao Qiaohong's situation continued to be like this, it would not be good. He might have to put all his eggs in one basket to implement this plan. You bad woman. Zhou Xiaoping did not dare to tell Zhao Qiaohong about going to the police station. She definitely did not want to go. Why not reason with her? She had not slept well for a few days. Zhao Qiaohong's face was getting darker and darker. Her eyes were bloodshot, and she was extremely haggard. Zhou Xiaoping did not know if it was an illusion, but he felt that Zhao Qiaohong had a lot more white hair on her head. Zhou Xiaoping's heart ached. Next, he might use his mother. Zhao Qiaohong saw her son and revealed a forced smile. You're here. Zhou Xiaoping sat by the bed and said, Mom, I want to tell you something. You must hold on. The smile on Zhao Qiaohong's face gradually disappeared. She became serious. What happened? Is there something wrong with my body? Recently, she had not slept well. She felt like she was going to die. To watch the new chapter of Zue, please go to mobile address. Chapter 3902. Zhao Qiaohong's first reaction was that there was something wrong with her body. Could it be cancer? Was it some incurable disease? Zhao Qiaohong held her breath and looked at her son. Is there something wrong with my body? Tell me, I can take it. He hadn't seen his grandson yet. Now that he was divorced, how long would he have to wait to get married? When would he have a grandson after he got married? In an instant, Zhao Qiaohong's mind filled in a lot of thoughts. Zhou Xiaoping saw Zhao Qiaohong's terrified expression and felt a little guilty, but he still said, Mom, the police station might know that I made a fake petition. I might face criminal responsibility. And you will also have to go to the police station for a period of time. Otherwise, Yin Ting will keep threatening you with this matter. I think that your nightmares might be because of this. What? Zhao Qiaohong was stunned. She felt as if she had been struck by lightning. It took her a long time to react. I still have to go to jail. Ordinary people were afraid of being sent to the yamen. They really didn't want to go to the police station and be afraid. After all, she was an ordinary person. Her psychological quality was poor and she was very afraid. She was quite afraid that she would be abused in jail. It's not jail. It's just going to the detention center for a few days. Otherwise, Yin Ting will use this to threaten us. If I go to jail, you will go to jail too. It wasn't a big deal, but Zhou Xiaoping made it sound very serious. Zhao Qiaohong grabbed her son's hand agitatedly. How can you go to jail? That's impossible. Her son didn't throw the child away. He didn't do anything wrong. What right did she have to arrest her son? But I was anxious to get you out. Yin Ting refused to sign, so I made a fake signature. If she pursues the matter, we will all be in trouble. Zhao Qiaohong punched the bed blanket. I knew that this woman wasn't a good person. If I had known, I wouldn't have gotten a divorce. Since she wants to pursue the matter, then let her have a husband in jail. Let's see what she can do. Without her husband to rely on, what else could she do? If her husband went to jail, it would be sad for her to cry alone. See if she still dares to pursue the matter. Now that they were divorced, she had no scruples. Zhou Xiuping, why was it so strange? Was she cursing Yin Ting or him? Zhao Qiaohong asked, do I have to go to the police station? When will I go? I'll go. As long as I go to the police station, you don't have to go. Instead of his son going to the police station, he might as well go himself. His son still had a bright future ahead of him. How could he have such a criminal record? He just had to endure it. Zhou Xiuping felt guilty. He had taken advantage of his mother's love and care for him. Perhaps if he had really gone in for a few days, his mother's illness might have been cured. Zhou Xiuping turned himself in at the police station and confessed that he had faked the incident. Also, regarding his mother's matter, he should be educated and would take the initiative to send Zhao Qiaohong over. Police. This was the first time he had seen someone take the initiative to enter the detention center. He was so frank. Actually, this was not a big deal. He did not have to go to the detention center, but Zhou Xiuping requested to go to the police station for a few days. Zhao Qiaohong still did not sleep well, especially when she was going to the police station. She was even more anxious. However, when she thought of her son, Zhao Qiaohong was full of motivation. She could bear the suffering for her son. She would definitely be able to endure the days in the detention center. Even if she entered the detention center for a period of education, she would definitely be able to endure it. Zhao Qiaohong felt that nothing in her nightmares could defeat her now that she had the energy. Zhou Xiuping went through the discharge procedures. Zhou Xiuping sighed, but he could not stop his son. It was his wife's fault for throwing away the child. Speaking of which, he had not seen the child many times. Having a granddaughter at home did not seem to change anything to him. He did not have much contact with her, nor did he develop feelings for her. Therefore, Zhou Xiuping did not understand why Zhao Qiaohong had such a big reaction to this child and insisted on throwing it away. Forget it. He was old. He could not care less. Zhao Qiaohong, accompanied by her son, returned to the police station and was locked up in the temporary detention center. Zhao Qiaohong was terrified. She took a deep breath and walked in. She said to her son, "You have to come and pick me up when it's time. Don't worry. Mom can hold on." Zhou Xiuping held Zhao Qiaohong's hand through the bars. "Mom, don't be afraid." Zhao Qiaohong's lips were trembling. She forced herself to say, "I'm not afraid. Son, I'm not afraid." Zhao Qiaohong held his hand tightly. "You have to come and pick me up. Pick me up." She was very worried that the things in her dream would become true. She would become alone and abandoned in the wilderness without anyone to look after her. Zhou Xiuping knew that her emotions were unstable now. He only left after comforting her. Every day, he came to see Zhao Qiaohong. Zhao Qiaohong saw her son every day. Her mood improved. She said happily, "Son, I have fewer nightmares recently. I can sleep for a while." As expected, Zhou Xiuping also said happily, "This is a good thing. You can go out in a few days. In the future, you won't have any psychological burden." Naturally, she would not have nightmares anymore. She would not have nightmares with a guilty conscience. However, Zhou Xiuping did not dare to say that he had taken the initiative to get her into the police station. He would definitely beat him up. Ning Shu was changing the baby's diaper. Mama Yin entered the house and said to her, "Your ex-mother-in-law was sent to the police station. She has been locked up for a few days." Serves her right. It's all retribution. Mama Yin gloated. When Ning Shu finished changing the diaper, she picked up her granddaughter and kissed her. How crazy to throw away a child. Serves her right. Ning Shu raised her eyebrows. Zhou Xiuping really believed her nonsense. She had said those words on purpose. She wanted to send Zhao Qiaohong to the police station when the effect of the curse was getting weaker. The power of the curse would get weaker and weaker. In the end, it would disappear completely. At most, it would cause some damage to the body. Zhou Xiuping personally sent her mother to the police station. It was a completely unexpected surprise. Not bad, not bad. Zhou Xiuping was really a good young man. It would probably be the first time that she went to the police station for treatment. Anyway, it was Ning Shu's first time seeing it. She had lived long enough to see it. Ning Shu's mood was high. She was elated. The next thing to do was to raise the down payment and prepare to buy a small house. It did not need to be big. 40 to 50 square meters would do. It would be enough for her and her child to live in. She could not always stay in Mama Yin's and Papa Yin's house. She would be hated if she stayed there. Moreover, when the neighbors saw it, they would also point fingers. Her parents would not be able to lift their heads in front of the old neighbors. In the hearts of the older generation, divorce was a big deal. Moreover, it was a woman with a child. The kind that had no future at all. The future was bleak. Mama Yin knew that Ning Shu wanted to buy a house. She frowned and said, "What are you buying? Do you have the money?" To watch the new chapter of Zue, please go to mobile address. Chapter 3903. No, there's a down payment. I'll stay here for now and pay you back slowly every month, Ning Shu said. Mama Yin said, "How are you going to pay me back? You don't have a job now. What money do you have every month? Stay at home first. When the child is weaned, you can go out to work. I'll help you take care of the child. Your sister-in-law won't let me take care of your brother's child. She says that the older generation spoils the child. Am I someone who spoils the child?" Ning Shu grinned and hugged Mama Yin. "I'm not saying that you don't like us. I'll give you living expenses every month. All right, give it to me. I need money to be a nanny too." Mama Yin coaxed the child. When the child grew up, he would have to go out to buy a house or rent a house. He couldn't always stay here. After a long time, there would be disagreements, complaints, and hurt feelings. In the end, there would only be resentment left. He still had to have his own home. Even if it wasn't big, it wouldn't be considered as living under someone else's roof. Zhou Xiuping ran over to Ning Shu and thanked Ning Shu for her idea. Ning Shu was laughing in his heart. What was this? He had done something bad, and the other party was still thanking him. He had lived long enough to see this. He had earned it. Ning Shu said plainly, "No need. As long as your mother is happy in the police station, it's fine." Zhou Xiuping. Who could be happy in the police station? It was only because he went to the police station every day that he could stabilize Zhao Qiaohong's emotions. However, after this incident, Zhou Xiuping clearly felt that Zhao Qiaohong's energy was lacking. She looked much older and more haggard. She probably wouldn't be able to make up for it. When one got older and experienced some things, it wouldn't be easy for the body to recover. Even though Zhou Xiuping knew that she might have done it on purpose, he couldn't blame her. She had said that, but he was the one who sent her to the police station. Zhou Xiuping asked, "What do you plan to do next?" Ning Shu casually replied, "I don't have any plans. I'm just going to earn money to raise a child." A person's life was a life. Those who were married would raise their families and children, and those who were not married would raise themselves. Anyway, that was how it was. Zhou Xiuping hesitated for a moment and asked, "Don't you have plans to start a family? It's too hard for you to raise a child alone." Ning Shu rolled his eyes. "It's none of your business. If you have the time, you'd better find a wife and give birth to a son for your mother." When Zhou Xiuping heard her say that, he felt a little despair and sadness in his heart. He said that to test Yin Ting's feelings. But she had said those words so straightforwardly, as if she didn't have any nostalgia for him. So sad. Zhou Xiuping revealed an ugly smile. "That's true. I'm going on a blind date soon." He carefully observed the other party's expression, but there was no reaction at all. He was reluctant to part with Yin Ting, So why wasn't she reluctant to part with him? Ning Shu reacted. Oh, congratulations on your immediate success. I hope you'll have a son soon. Zhou Xiaoping opened his mouth and was a little speechless. Before he left, he said, I'll always be waiting for you. Ning Shu waved and smiled. Goodbye. I'm someone you can't wait for. Zhou Xiaoping sighed and left. Every time they met, he felt like a knife was stabbing him in the heart. It just had to be him who was asking to be stabbed. When it was time, Zhou Xiaoping picked up Zhao Qiaohong from the police station. After leaving the police station, Zhao Qiaohong cried tears of joy. She grabbed her son and asked, Is this over? In the future, Yinting won't be able to use this to threaten you and me, right? Zhou Xiaoping nodded and said. He felt even more bitter in his heart. His fate with his wife had really come to an end. Even if he remarried Yinting, he was afraid that he wouldn't be able to get past his mother. His mother felt that he was in the police station because of Yinting. It wasn't an exaggeration to say that the two of them were enemies. If they were to become mother-in-law and daughter-in-law again, it would be so awkward that he wanted to die. How did things get to this point? Zhao Qiaohong got into the car and panted a little. She panted and said, Son, I'm afraid I don't have the energy to care about you. You'd better get married quickly. It'll be good if I can see you start a family before I die. Mom, what are you talking about? You're still young. Young? She was just lying to herself. This time, Zhao Qiaohong felt that she was really too tired. It was as if there was something pressing on her body. Zhao Qiaohong went home. Although she didn't keep dreaming like before, she still dreamed. She dreamed that she died and that she crossed the bridge. She dreamed that she was reincarnated as a girl. She dreamed that she was called a girl and a money-losing good. Her parents didn't like her. When she became an adult, they immediately married her off in exchange for money. Her husband didn't treat her well. In her dream, her husband's face was blurred. She couldn't see his facial features. She only heard his rough and fierce voice. He didn't have any pity for her. He made her work. If she didn't do well, he would beat and scold her. Women had to be tidied up. If she didn't tidy up for a day, she would go to the roof and tear down the tiles. She gave birth to a daughter. During the confinement period, she was beaten and scolded by her husband. He said that she was a useless woman. She couldn't even give birth to a son, causing their family to become extinct. The stick hit her body and the baby's sharp cries were like awls that pierced her head. She had an incomparable headache. No, her husband wasn't like this. Her husband wasn't so bad. Even if she gave birth to a daughter, her husband didn't blame her. Instead, she felt uneasy. After giving birth to a son, her heart felt at ease. Only then did she feel that she didn't let her husband down. Only then did her back become strong. She wouldn't be looked down upon and laughed at by others. This wasn't her husband. This was a nightmare. She had to wake up. The dream repeated itself. In the dream, Zhao Qiaohong experienced the pain of being a woman many times. The pain of giving birth to a child seemed to be real. When she woke up, her body was in pain and she was sweating profusely. In the dream, she was a woman with a different name. She married a man with a different name and experienced a difficult life. Some men like to gamble, some like to drink, and some like to beat people. These men with bad records all had one thing in common. They all liked sons. However, she couldn't give birth to a son. In the dream, she was most afraid of her belly growing because there would definitely be a girl inside. When the child was born, she would have to face a storm. This kind of dream was the most torturous. It was even more torturous than the previous dream. This was a kind of hopeless life without any hope of survival or light. Even if it was just a dream, it was still torturous enough for him to experience it again and again. When Zhao Qiaohong woke up, she thought of the granddaughter she had thrown away. She vaguely felt that she had really thrown away the child. It seemed that she had never found her again. She didn't know if she was dead or alive. To view the new chapter of Zue, please go to mobile address. You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.